You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others crawl, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake, na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho ngai no mwega naende shode.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani ngwe.
I say we must believe in God, and I say we must believe in ourselves, and we must believe in our country. Fearfully and wonderfully made. And God does not make useless, second-rate stuff. He says his works are wonderful. And he goes on to say, I know that full well. This morning, as we think about prayer, as we think about our belief in God, we must believe in ourselves as well, as a nation. Because this is a great nation. We are fearfully and wonderfully made.
The Trump administration announcing it is setting up a state-of-the-art facility in Kenya to address the growing Ebola outbreak in Africa. That center will reportedly be a joint effort with the Departments of State, Defense, and Health and Human Services to provide life-saving care to Americans who have been exposed to the virus. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is currently reporting more than 900 suspected cases.
All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udu Jegero, and this is Political Headache coming to you at 7:30 in the evening from the city of glasses. Today, I am with a whole lot of people. They have been looking for the... Wait, Joaquin.
Yes.
They've been looking for the TikTok lawyer. I think some women from America.
Yes.
When you want to nyemelea hii podcast.
Those women from America are very important.
Yeah.
First of all, they are usually generous.
Okay.
So you have to declare the M-Pesa balance from them.
Okay.
We know they have been sending something.
Okay.
Then we will use him as a bait for them to keep sending something.
But were they specific? Only lawyers they want.
Lawyers.
Only lawyers.
No, the TikTok lawyer. There is only one TikTok lawyer.
Yeah, only the TikTok lawyer they want.
Yes, that's the person they want.
But wacha tubaki Kenya.
People of the internet, welcome very much to the show today. I am with Mr. Adrian Olwach, who is going to be representing Linda Wananchi. I don't know.
Yes, Linda Wananchi.
Linda Bibi.
Representing Linda Wananchi Youth League. I am part of the National Executive Committee of Linda Wananchi National Youth League.
Okay.
It is being headed by a few other young people that you know.
Okay.
Like Gen Z Buddy.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
The gentleman just switch off his
Joaquin.
Joaquin, the man
Fake Jen.
the man from Maragoli.
You see, I was
Start
born in...
tampering with them.
No.
Yeah, but this is very interesting, Mr. Meshach, and welcome to the show, and thank you very much for coming. The problem I've had with either people coming from Linda Wananchi or Safina Party, they are not friendly with mics. They're always switching them off, and I don't know why.
Wamezoea ile ya kupiga hivi.
Yes, which is
So we grew up with the radios yenye unapiga.
So people of the internet, thank you very much. I hope that our sound is clear. Bonga, please let us know if our sound is very clear. Everybody speaking, we can hear them very clearly. I want to start this conversation by, as everybody's writing, I don't know whether maybe I should just start with Meshach. Meshach, the president today was praying, and I want to ask you, what is the place of prayer in our government and in our national politics? Do you think that we should be praying as a country? Because we have Muslims, some of us, some like this gentleman, I'm not sure if he's an atheist, but I think he doesn't believe in God.
I'm not an atheist, but I'm not religious.
So that makes him an atheist.
No, he could be spiritual.
Exactly.
He could be spiritual.
Also in spirituality, we have our own belief of the idea of God. We don't say that God does not exist.
Lakini Mungu
Don't
alikukosea
go that
wapi?
direction. I know where he's going.
What is he doing?
Degero is not enlightened enough to understand what I mean.
No, he will start casting aspersions on the existence
Of God.
Yeah, and I do not want to get into that.
You think that God does not exist?
God exists.
Yeah.
But there's just a flawed definition of God with Christianity, Islam, and all.
Okay.
People think of God like someone who's just seated somewhere.
No.
That if you do something bad, he beats you.
Okay.
That if you want a car, you pray to him and you get a car the next day.
Okay.
That is not the idea of God.
We should not pray to get a car. We should not pray to get a wife.
No.
Okay. What should we be doing?
We should be praying
Uh-huh.
to the powerful supreme consciousness within you.
Okay.
That exists. That is God.
Okay, that's interesting. So anyway, Meshach, I was asking you a question about the place of prayers in our national politics and in our economy. Do you think that it is something that we should be doing?
This is my thought about the prayers, and not just the prayers of today.
Okay.
Our constitution as a country recognizes God.
Okay.
At the beginning of our constitution, it recognizes God, powerful enough. But the same constitution states that there is no state religion. Okay. There is no particular religion that the state of Kenya recognizes as its own religion. So that again opens the door wide that it is a free nation. Those who decide to be in this religion can be, those who decide to be in that religion can be, and those who do not want to be in any religion but recognizes God are still taken care of.
Okay.
So in our governance, I don't think that prayer is fixing anything. I think that prayer is just a choice of the members of parliament or parliament as an institution that they want, after doing everything else they have done across the year, they want to convene and have a moment of worship together as a team, because maybe they throughout the year there are those who have been worshiping in different churches across. You see, every weekend they are in different churches. But then there are also those who have not worshipped completely across the year, but maybe for this particular season they engage as a team and worship. But I don't think it plays any role in how we develop the country, in how we grow our economy, in how we govern. I think it is neither here nor there when we come to governance of the country and when we come to economy of this country, or how we want to move forward. The only thing that takes us forward is our constitution. That is what has everything to do with how we collect or gather resources and how we divide the resources to all the members of this nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joachim, what do you think about prayer? You look like a very prayerful man. In fact,
Yes,
I think the way where you are, God has brought you this far.
Yeah, it's the hand of God.
God must say. God.
Yeah, and people of the internet, please tell us if anybody's sound is not being kama mtu asikiki vizuri. Are we all right? Yeah, they're already talking about Obunga, so I don't know.
Someone called Solodeno.
Yes.
He's saying, sound Obunga.
Sound Obunga. I hope we are all right.
Okay. Mwingine amesema great Obunga, which means we are back on
Yeah,
track.
tell us about your God.
It's our God.
Okay.
Because whether you
recognize
him or not, he's there. And let me be a preacher for a minute.
Okay, no worries.
That we have been praying for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
We have been advancing prosperity gospel. Well, the whole idea of prosperity gospel is that you pray to God based on what he gives you. You only obey him based on the things you expect from him.
Okay.
I think the correct reason as to why we need to pray is we pray to God for who he is. So that even if you prayed for this laptop and you end up not getting it,
okay,
he remains God. So that is the very essence of why we need to pray. Now, in my submission appertaining to today's prayer breakfast, I would like to say that prayer has helped so many people. But at some point, you do not cure mediocrity by praying. You do not pray away incompetence. You work on it. And there is only one prayer breakfast that came close to looking like it had some impact on the well-being of the Kenyan people. And this is the prayer breakfast that was attended by Raila, and there was Uhuru, and there was Ruto. Close to 2022 elections. And everyone was confessing their sins on the stage.
Where? Where?
And I remember
Safari Park.
That's Safari Park.
Yes, and I remember Uhuru confessing that he's very sorry he called Raila Mugoroki.
Mugoroki means what?
Mwenda wazimu. and Raila begged for forgiveness for calling Uhuru Mulevi.
Okay.
And Ruto begged for forgiveness for calling Raila Muganga.
Okay.
So it was.
This is when before the handshake, right? Or the handshake
after the handshake.
After the handshake.
That is the time the handshake was starting to bring some friction between Uhuru and Ruto.
Oh, yeah.
And on that prayer breakfast, William Ruto camouflaged to be a very forgiving person.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, we just
very important.
Yes.
Very important. So in that camouflage, he begged for forgiveness. The following day in Meru, in a rally, he repeated the same words he had he had sought forgiveness for.
Who?
William Ruto. He called Raila Yule Muganga Yule. So I was wondering, why do we have the prayer breakfast? Then you go back and do the exact same things you have confessed before in front of the Kenyan people.
Yeah.
And today, as we were holding this national prayer breakfast, a tragedy had befallen the country.
Yeah.
A school dormitory had caught on fire, and we lost 16 souls of young people. So I could see, I think I saw the president being called in the briefing room very fast. That's when he came back, and when he was given a chance to speak, he mentioned it. So I think also it's pretense by industrial scale, because the people you see leading the national prayer breakfast, and you look at their actions, and it doesn't qualify any of them. And that's why I cannot even offer myself to lead a prayer breakfast.
Okay.
Because I know that I have not lived to that standard. So if Joachim He's aware that he has not lived up to the standard of leading prayer breakfast.
Okay.
But some people who have led government that has mismanaged the affairs of the country have stolen from us.
Stolen from sick people.
Yes, from sick people. And I want also to say that some of the people we see in this government, and we can see that it's very rare to see happiness on their faces. I do not know why. Because how can you steal from sick people and have happiness? It does not come that way. When you are given a mandate to the Auditor General yesterday, was it yesterday? She delivered a report that medicine for HIV, cancer, had expired in a KEMSA warehouse worth 1 billion. So people who have been overseeing such kind of, how do we call it? The best English version, malfeasance, are now leading prayer breakfast. I think that's gross and hypocrite.
Yeah, we are going to go to the issue of fire, and I don't know how the government is dealing with this. The other day, Mr. Meshach, when we were taking tea out there with Mr. Joachim and Adrian, by the name, his full name is Adrian Oloch, although we call him the TikTok lawyer, but he's also joined, he's now an executive member of Linda Wananchi, which is not a party, by the way.
The head. The party will come.
The party will come. Okay. But I want to ask you about the prayer thing before I think I asked Meshach already about this prayer thing. What do you think about the prayer thing? As a country, should you be holding prayers?
For me, we should not be holding anything to do with a national prayer for the country. First of all, the reason for this is, number one, according to our own, let me take a different route, our own constitution. Our own constitution, despite the fact that people say that the preamble of the constitution mentions something to do with God, or we have other sections that talks about, freedom of worship. Our constitution in its entirety is a very secular document. So everything that is written in that constitution, yes, you will be given the freedom to assemble, worship any person that you believe in. But at the same time, it cannot create a certain national image to show that this is the only religions that we have in the country. Whereby it's a national prayer breakfast, but we're only seeing...
He's trying to do something to your sound.
Is my mic okay? These people always just fuck up my sound.
I don't know why.
Is my sound okay?
Someone is referring
Come on,
to
is
you.
my sound okay?
Someone is referring to you as a jobless lawyer.
Does he know I have a suit worth 50,000?
No wonder they are killing his sound. No wonder they are killing his sound.
How can you...
You know, Bunga is a Maraca person, so he does not like you by default. Anyway, go ahead. Peter, is our sound okay?
I hope my sound is okay.
Yeah, but this is something that you guys need to be taking care of before we start.
Just...
No, wachana na mambo ya iko sawa bwana. We don't appreciate this at all. You know? We don't appreciate this. No, that mic is fine. It's fine. It's very fine. It is very fine. It's fine. Let's go on.
Okay.
It's fine. Yes, go ahead.
So I was saying, we are not supposed to be having a national prayer breakfast. Especially when you're having a certain event that you're making it seem like a national appeal, like something that the government is supposed to be doing every year, and getting together all religiously, that is not supposed to be happening. But of course, everyone it's a nuanced thing. Everybody has the freedom of expression again in the Constitution. And again, we cannot ignore by the fact that we are in a country that is highly religious. We have a very huge number of Christians. We also have a very huge number of Muslims and Islams. So you can never ignore the influence that religion has on these specific groups of people.
Okay.
So as a show of unity, they always have to meet every year to pray. And pray about the wellness of the country. But aside from all, just like Simiwa said, the National Prayer Breakfast is a gathering of hypocrites. a gathering of the most heinous of people who come together and now talk about virtue under the Bible or virtue under Quran. When you have these people who have stolen from orphans, we have people who have stolen from poor people, people who have stolen from sick people, now are gathering to show their virtue through religion. And that is why I've never taken the issue of national prayer breakfast to be a serious thing. And I've never even been interested or indulged, in as much as people might accuse me of being an atheist. I might just have a different view of God, despite the fact that I might not be religious. So the national prayer breakfast, definitely, is just a clown.
Yeah, when you say that the people that have done heinous crimes, who are they? Who are you referring to? You're afraid of naming them by names?
I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid. I will start with the president themselves.
Okay.
I'll talk about the cabinet secretary for health.
Okay.
I'll talk about all these directors
Was
of
he there?
corporations who were there. With Veni, because he's not there.
Yes, I just wanted to confirm if he was there.
I believe he has been at those national prayer breakfasts, a couple of them.
You see, Jagero.
Yeah. I wanted you to.
I'm a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Okay.
And now that Adrian has brought this, I feel like the Spirit is telling me to rebuttal a little.
Yes.
The Bible confirms that he came for the sinners. So if you can count their sins, then it means they really need to pray. Because prayers are not for the clean, are not for the angels. It is for the sinners to get God to change their hearts to become better. So I may just not like the fact that we are making it a national thing, but to pray is good, especially if you are a sinner. You need to pray more.
So you are confirming that they could have sinned in a manner that has been described.
The Bible is the one confirming that all have fallen short the glory, including me.
I know. But have they sinned in a manner described by Adrian?
That would look like court of law.
Have I stolen 17 billion for healthcare?
Because you have not been put there, we don't know. You know, you only know, you can't. You see, there are things that we can talk about because we have not been privileged. If I was cabinet secretary one time and I had opportunity to steal and I didn't steal, then you can confirm with authority that Meshach is a righteous person. But just because I have not been exposed to it, I can easily talk about how bad the other person is.
So you are also confirming that their tendency of thievery is because of their access to resources.
The tendency of stealing is because of the access of resources for all human beings, not just them.
So them included?
Them included, yes. That is true.
While taking the lead?
Just because today they are the ones in that position.
So there is nothing wrong about it?
There is everything wrong about it.
Yes.
But we can easily talk about it like this because we are here. But who knows tomorrow if we are there? I mean, we've seen people who actually spoke the same way we speak, and then they got into government, and then they changed. Meaning, they actually didn't change. That is who they were, but they were lacking opportunity
and you
to
see,
do it.
Joachim, that is the biggest religion, that is the biggest problem of religion, whereby they tend to think that there is a certain magical heaven whereby everybody is going to go. And you can seek for forgiveness for literally anything that you do. That if you, Joachim, today steals 10 billion for sick people, you can actually go kneel down before God and say, God, I'm sorry. And God will forgive you. And now that we as humans, we are not supposed to hold you accountable just because you have seek forgiveness from God. That is the entire concept of religion that he's trying to tell us. So he's telling us that our president can steal, then go to a national prayer breakfast, and now seek for forgiveness.
Hidalgo, if I have to chime in, if I have to chime in.
That is why sometimes we place a boundary, for someone like me, between religion and how humans are supposed to operate. If you have stolen from the people, I will not wait for God to punish you in the afterlife as you believe. You are supposed to be punished right now.
To chime in,
Okay.
as far as I would not like us to take this downtrend, but it's important for clarification.
Okay.
That in all these things we are discussing, more so on the things that our leaders have done that have made the lives of so many millions of the Kenyan people poor or miserable, and they come up with something called prayer. In my understanding as a Christian, there is something called repentance. Then when you realize that your ways of conduct is not good, you do repentance. Repentance is ideally turning away from those things. So when you come here and tell us that stealing cups is bad,
okay,
going forward we should not see it happening. That you have now turned around and become someone else. That the actions that led you to prayer and repentance, you are now trying to live according to how a good human being should live. If the reason why you went to this prayer and confessed is coveting, you should not go on coveting so that next year on the same date, we see you praying about the same things. So that's ideally what I have a problem with.
Okay.
So going forward, I feel like we are a country that is religious, but we do not live to the standards of the religions that we are in.
Okay.
For instance, we are 80% Christian. When you go to the parking lot of government offices and you check the vehicles parked there, and you wait on Sunday and you go to these big churches like here, the All Saints Cathedral, and you check the vehicles parked at the church, you realize that the number plate you saw at the treasury office is now at the church, and the owner of that car works at treasury and he's now praying at All Saints.
Okay.
So we expect that this person is a Christian. There should be some level of restraint in their actions, that the level of stealing should not be at the level we are seeing today.
Does Meshach, do you agree that these people that were at the prayer breakfast are stealing from Kenyans? Because I think that is the question that these people are trying to say, and I'm not sure whether you agree with them that. So you're saying that they can steal, but and pray about it.
And seek
No,
forgiveness.
no. I think the TikTok lawyer is getting it wrong.
Okay.
My Bible confirms that one day Jesus himself told someone, when that person asked, what can I do to inherit? And the Christ told him, now give all your wealth to the poor. Meaning, the heaven we're talking about is also not backing up issues of stealing and accumulating for yourself. So this is what I am saying. I am saying the people who want to pray because they think they are seeking the intervention of God, we don't pray to entice God or to change the mind of God. We pray so that we can change. It is us to change. And we don't know where God advocated anywhere for anybody to do any of these things. So he remains straight. But it is us who sometimes go zigzag. So when we pray, it is a prayer to change us to align with God. God did not send us to steal and has never been advocating for us to steal. So when we realize we have gone astray, then we pray so that God can change our heart, but we are not changing God. So in short, everything stealing is bad. And there is more to that, especially when we are talking about governance. Because we talk more about stealing, but there are also people who are in these offices who particularly are not stealing, but people who they are supposed to oversee are actually stealing, and they are doing nothing. So
About it.
if I am your watchman today at the door, then a thief came and stole, and you find me in the morning and I can't explain, or I can explain telling you so and so stole. You know, I am also supposed to be culpable at some level. So we have government officials as well who directly did not steal, but under their watch, a lot was stolen, even if it is not them. Those are also supposed to be punished if it is punishment for embezzlement of resources.
I think it is aiding and abetting, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
One point I loved when he talked, and that made me giggle a little bit, was when he said you are supposed to sell all your wealth. So I was just wondering, can our president do that?
Maybe
can our cabinet secretary sell all their wealth?
Yeah, maybe it is difficult, and that is why they went to God to soften their heart so they can sell all their wealth.
So they were negotiating. So they were negotiating.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. There is an issue here. Somebody saying, Jageru, spare Azima Hiyo mic, please. Which mic are they talking about? I don't know what they're talking about. Everything is now okay? Yeah, so I don't know what these people are talking about Zima.
No. They are talking to you. They don't want you to speak while the guest is speaking. If I have to understand this
What have I spoken with the guest?
No, there are those people who are just provocative.
You know how wild your comment section is.
Yeah, so but you are also listening to them when they're saying that your mic is low. And you're really perturbed.
You see, this lady called Annie is always here.
And she's always putting us under a lot of trouble. I believe she's NIS. I believe she's
assigned officially to
say there is no sound, there is no this, and so on and so forth. So people of the internet, there is an issue that happened today. 10 students have lost their lives, and we want to say our condolences to the family. 16 people lost their lives. I think at some point I read 10.
No, in the morning it was 10, in the afternoon it rose to 16.
But
at some places they reported 17.
17.
Yeah, it's a toll.
It's growing.
So at Political Headache, we want to send our condolences to the family at this time of great stress. The question, Mr. Meshach, these two gentlemen think that this is political, that the government needs to do more about it. But I just don't understand, because in my estimation, I've not gone to several secondary schools, but in my estimations, I'm thinking that these things are never gorofas. They're mostly like just one floor. And how fire starts to the point where people are dying, I just don't understand. I don't know, how does this happen?
Jageru, there is something, for me this was deep. In the morning, I remember I was in one of the media houses in the morning when the breaking news happened. And I saw how a full-grown man was wailing, and you could see in his eyes the pain, because maybe this is your little girl who you have come a long way. Even training her in that particular school, pengine has cost you an arm and a leg. And here you are being called at night in the morning, wee hours of the morning, and you find all this has happened. But if you want to know, losing a child is not a joke. Even Wahenga or people who invented all these languages didn't find how we can call you when you lose your children. We know when you lose a spouse, you are either a widow or a widower. We know when you lose parents, you are an orphan. But who are you when you lose your children? We don't know. Even the people who came before us didn't know how to call that person. So that is telling you how deep and how the pain goes when a man or a woman or any other loses their children. But now it bothered me a little, Jageru, because I was thinking, this is not the first incident. And probably it's never going to be the last incident. We don't hope for all other incidents to occur. But given the trend, reading the historical occurrences, we think some other incidents like this may occur. What can we do must we have boarding schools? Because it is now provoking a lot of thoughts in me.
Yeah.
Must we even have boarding schools? What if we just had day schools? Everybody is going to school and going back to their parents. What would happen? Will that reduce our level of education as a country? Will it take anything away from us? Are there countries in this world where they don't have much of boarding schools? Are they still considered learned? Are they still their education still considered competitive enough? So I said, maybe we are not going to have this conversation now because we are emotional, given that it has just happened.
Okay.
But probably it is an argument or a conversation we will have to have as a country someday, maybe 10 years later, maybe 20 years later. Because again, even if you look at the cost of our education, much of it is more in the boarding, especially secondary school. Much of the bulk of that money is about boarding.
Okay.
If there was no boarding school in the O level, we would be spending maybe less than 50% of the money we are spending now in supporting the education in high schools. So maybe probably now we might take, if we start the conversation, we will be emotional and we might take some, because again, human being is human being. Most of the time we use emotions to act, and then we use logic to try and justify. All the times we use our emotions to make the decision, and then we try and use logic to justify the reason why we did it.
Yeah, but Mr. Go ahead.
So I'm just concluding. So it bothers me if we go like this and we can't go the full length in terms of securing these boarding facilities, and then our children keep getting into such situations. Maybe a year later, another one happens. 2 years later, another one happens. But one life is too much. We just had Moi Girls Senior. Before it is completely rubbed out of our mind, this one is happening. Sometimes back, we had the Shangulis. They can be counted. So for how long can we remain in the middle where we are not full length in terms of securing the dormitories the way they are supposed to be secured, and we are also insisting we must have boarding schools, and we don't want day schools?
Mr. Joaquim, do you think that the best way going forward is to kill the boarding schools, or perhaps look at our preparedness in as far as fire and calamity and other calamities are concerned?
Our emergency response, our disaster preparedness is an issue in this country. I am reliably informed that from that school to the nearest military installation, it's 12 minutes drive. To the fire center, it's 10 minutes. It is surrounded by security and disaster installations. But the reason why children died is because help took more than 1 hour to arrive. So the question is therefore, do we have a problem of disaster preparedness, coordination, or is just an issue of incompetence with the people involved in disaster preparedness? So it's also an area we need to look at. In concurrence with my brother here, boarding schools. So now, when we look at eradicating boarding schools wholly, then we also need to look at how are we socially constructed. Why are parents sending their children to boarding schools? Let me say you are a single parent, and who is always away at work. So you need your children to go to school at a place where they can be taken well care of. So if there can be guarantee that even boarding schools shall be safe places, I do not see a problem with that. But can we make sure that I do not have to worry about my child when he's away in school? Imagine you are a parent, you are given a call in the morning, and you come to school, and you can't even identify your child. They have to do a DNA. So you just know that my child is dead, is part of these people, but I don't know which one. So that takes a toll on the parents. And therefore, the discussion we were having out there of whether this is a political issue or not.
Yeah.
I think by mere fact of us discussing it here on political headache makes it a political issue. And in furtherance of the same, what is the objective of government? Primary objective. It's protection of human life and property. So whenever we lose any human life, in whichever circumstances, it's failure on the part of government. It is failure on the part of security institutions of the country. Because we pay taxes to government and should be assured of safety in return.
Disaster management.
Disaster management. We make sure that we are not going to die because of health and all diseases, everything. So it's the work of any government in place to make sure that the life of its citizens and their properties shall be guaranteed of safety. The other issue is, who are the contractors we are giving to build our schools? Why are we building schools that look like police cells, with grills everywhere, with the doors that are not easily opened? So that even if you are trying
is this
to
the reason, or is this part of the reasons why kids moving out of this place?
Yeah. It's usually very hard. So it's a prison mentality where you now make sure that the doors are not easily opened, and you are thinking that so that children cannot run away
or become cheeky.
Yes, go to disco, then come back.
Okay.
But now, how do we make sure that these incidences are well taken care of? Where was the dorm patron or matron?
Okay.
Did she die in the fire? If she did not, where was she? What led to the fire? What ignited the fire? And again,
But then on the same question, Adrian, you have been in a boarding school, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the inflammable materials? Where would fire come from in a boarding school? Where?
How would the fire start?
Yeah.
Somebody. That is the critical question. And when I told you, Jagero, that let us discuss about the fire that happened in Tumishi.
Okay.
You made a very false statement and said, how is that a political issue?
Yeah.
And I reminded you that everything is political. In fact, an education institution, it is politically managed by the ministry.
Okay.
And in our education system, part of the reforms that we called for, especially in a new curriculum like the CBC that we wanted to introduce, we wanted to do away with this bad culture of forcing children in boarding schools.
Okay.
And part of the reason is because how boarding schools have psychologically affected most of our students. And if you ask me, where do the fires comes from in secondary schools in Kenya? It comes from the students. It is the students who start this fire. And a very gullible person would rush and be quick to blame those students. I was in high school, and one of the longest terms that we have is second term. Right now, secondary schools are in their second terms.
Okay.
Everybody was psychologically frustrated.
You feel
where is the psychological frustration coming from?
Because boarding schools operate like prisons. They don't operate like education facilities.
How so?
You spend almost a consistent 3 months waking up early. The only break that you get between all these 6 months is almost a 1 week break.
Okay.
All this kind of hyped up activity that is only focused on education alone sometimes gets in the heads of the student. There is a certain mental breakdown that most students face down. And that is why now you see the resistance of the students. All of a sudden, students start being on rowdy. You hear claims of people wanting to ban the school. Even in our high school, there were so many attempts to ban school. And it usually happened in second term because second term is the longest term. So we are asking, why is it that the government has put out a curriculum that forces students to consistently stay in school, even if it is boarding school. What is the problem with students taking a break every month? What is the problem with that? Why would you have
Or
them in school for
some
6
hours
months?
of the day.
Or some hours of the day. Why is it that we are having boarding schools that are forcing students to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and sleep at 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they doing at 3?
They are studying hard.
Studying for what?
To defeat other schools.
Other schools.
to maintain to maintain the main score of the school.
It's true.
And actually,
don't be funny.
No, not funny.
Yeah.
In fact,
Just to the benefit, not of that kid.
Okay.
The benefit of the management of the school. Because when you're saying,
Yeah.
my school is top at
Okay.
the end of the year.
I have
Okay.
meant
it's true. In fact, the pressure to study in schools came from people like the principal.
Yeah.
Because the principal cared so much about the academic performance of the school and the rank in which the school will appear, or else parents will start shouting at him on
Yes.
the general meeting. So
Okay.
they cared so much about the general passing of the school. They never cared about that.
the well-being of the student.
Never cared about
Yagero,
anything.
what Adrian is talking about is actually live and true. Most of the time, take a study with international schools in this city. You will find kids enjoying school. It is a place they're enjoying. Because
so much.
you go to that school and the kid is able to tell you, Jagero, as the teacher, Malimu, I feel tired. I'm a bit fatigued. I can't learn now. And that's it. You don't argue.
Okay.
Yeah, I
In
can't
fact,
learn
Daniel,
now.
Thanks that he has mentioned international schools, because so many of my friends are in international schools.
Yeah.
I have friends who are in international school like Brookhouse, boarding school.
Yes.
And they don't look like boarding schools.
Yeah.
On the weekend,
Yes.
they go to their homes.
Yes.
And they're in a boarding schools.
Yeah.
They have the freedom to go home,
Over
the
the
freedom
weekend.
of their parents to come for them at any time.
Yeah.
The other day, I
They
was
do not
told
wake
that I
up
cannot go and visit my niece.
Yes.
But I cannot go and visit her.
It's the same
And
as
she's
our
here in
school.
Nairobi.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't?
Because you are not supposed to go there
You're
and
not
visit.
allowed.
So it's the same for our school. In fact, our school.
So
reached-
that is what makes the kid feel like this is a cage. Yeah.
So
Because
that-
I think
As
that
Mr. Adria and Joachim is talking about, Obunga, you'll have to come and fix this guy's mic. Get it out of his lapel and put it on the nini so that people can hear. Because people are still saying that though they can hear him, but he's still low, and I think it is the positioning of his mic.
Yeah.
So Joachim, go ahead.
You want it in my lapel?
Yes. It needs to
Let
come.
him just come.
Yes, it should come and fix
on
it.
the tie.
Yeah,
put
on
it
the
on
tie.
the
Yes.
What?
And then you can increase the volume.
You know what Obunga is telling me?
Yeah.
It's not the mic cutting niongeze sauti. And I'm one of the loudest in the room.
No, you are not the loudest. You're not the loudest. You are the lowest. You are the lowest, actually. This guy is the loudest in the room.
I'll reduce.
No, don't reduce. We like it that way. But I know now it is now very close to his mouth. Now I think it is okay. Yes.
Okay.
Not my mic.
You will have to shout.
Oh, yeah. You go ahead, Joachim.
So the description that have been made by Adrian. You see, when a human being feels caged, they have a different reaction to that environment. Some will just zone out. They will stop paying attention to classes.
Yeah.
Some will become aggressive. Some will think of doing something that can now break the cage. And now, this student might not have put into consideration the ripple effect of that action. So he says that let us now ban the dormitory so that they can let us go.
Okay.
Then at the end of the day, the fire ends up consuming the lives of their colleagues and classmates and schoolmates.
Yeah. Joachim, look at it this way.
Okay.
All the schools that have been banned, only the dormitory bans, not
Yes.
classrooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
Tell
the
me,
library.
tell me where classrooms were banned. Most of the time, even if classrooms will be banned, maybe as an extension, but not the primary. Then, as we sit here, I can't remember the last time a day school was banned.
Yes.
I can't remember any day school that was ever banned while I was a human being. Only the boardings are banned. That means there is something about how the social arrangement of our children. Then lastly, you might want to see that a school today burned, we lost lives, very painful. But for us to actually begin that conversation seriously, if you go back and look at the data, over the last 5, 10, or 20 years, how many lives have we lost in the same circumstance? Then you now feel like we need to talk about this today now.
Okay.
But before that, just look at the media houses for the past 1 week. They talked about children disappearing. When one child disappears and the media house highlight it as a story, yes, you feel bad. But when the report was now brought of the numbers in terms of data, then we feel like we must talk about children disappearing now. It should be a national issue. So when it is one as a news item, we might feel bad, but it will go. Another thing will be on the headlines tomorrow. But now it is time for the government also to go back and give us the data. Ministry of Education should now give us data of the lives we have lost in the past 5, 10 years in the same circumstances. Then that maybe will give us opportunity to say we are talking about this now.
I think there is an emerging career where I would urge young people to go in. We are going into where we are going to need psychological therapists because of how the pressure is exerted on both parents and students.
For sure.
Because some of these parents opt to send their children to boarding school so that they can have time to look for something so that they can be able to afford their lives.
Yeah.
So this takes a toll on their psychological being. And as I said, every animal, we are also animals. When you encroach into its territory,
Yeah, I agree with you, actually.
they tend to be wild and aggressive in protection of their territory. So these schools that operate like prisons, and with the advent of these liberal-minded young people, Gen Zs and Alpha generation, it's no longer tenable.
Okay.
We have to think of other ways of easing the pressure so that we avert these deaths and children. And you see, some of the times, the effect of these boarding schools, if the children do not end up banning schools, your child comes back with a behavior you never saw them with. Imagine your kid spending 24 hours with a kid who was brought up in a very different setting. So there will be that effect on each other. And you end up, you no longer recognize your kid. They used to behave this way, now they'll no longer behave that way. So it's important for us to put into consideration that how do we make sure that this thing, because you never know who is next.
Yes, but you see now the other problem is also in as far as, because this also touches on the security issue of the country. Because you remember when we were here, there are callers that have been saying, Jagero, why are you not talking about the disappearance of girls in the city and across the country? And the government is not saying anything about it. As a matter of fact, the other day, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua was talking to Murkomen, the CS for Interior, and asking him, what is it that you are doing? You have not come out to tell us what is going on with our children. Our children are coming from school and getting lost, and the government has not done anything about it. There is serious killing in Kisumu, where people are basically being mugged every day. Like it's a mugging spree. It's a killing spree in Kisumu town. The governor is not talking. The security apparatus are not saying anything, and you don't know what to do. And I think this calls for a bigger action because for example, if you open an hotel, there will be government kanjo will come and survey and say, okay, where are you cooking and what is happening? Are they going to schools?
The inspectorate.
Are they going to schools and saying, okay, in the event of fire, how do 300 kids in this dome coming out of this place?
Which means even schools should now employ disaster specialists.
Yeah.
Or they should help in designing the infrastructure in schools. There has to be a standard that for you to build a dormitory, there is a way a door should be like, ventilation should be like, and we should put into consideration in case of a fire, how do we make sure that there is no the damage that we are witnessing?
Let me bring to you another angle.
Okay.
If you want to know, the issue is simply the boarding and how worked up these young people get.
Okay.
Tell me one university which has been banned. University are boarding, but are hostels being banned?
No.
Because they have autonomy.
Yeah.
They walk out when they want, they come back to college when they want, they go to class when they want, they sleep in the dormitory when they are feeling unwell. But in the high school, it's a must. It's like command.
Yeah.
So if it was not that, then we would be seeing hostels in universities and colleges being banned. But because the other people, because the age, they are almost in the same age group. Because a Form 4 and a first year or second year, wamewachana with just a few years. So if it was a character about the age, we would be seeing the same happening on the other side of things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you don't see that happening with colleges, TVETs, universities. They are happy. If I want to go to class today, I can go to class. But if I feel tired, I will sleep in the hostel, class will go on. And then we don't see anybody wanting to ban the hostels to go home. But in the high school, now it's a command, it's a jail, it's a quote and quote.
The other day I was also trying to talk to my niece, and the class teacher was telling me that you cannot talk to the niece.
Yes.
Why?
But he can ask me, he can tell me that the niece wants some pocket money, but I cannot speak to her.
Yeah, I remember in high school.
That happens a lot.
That happens a lot, right?
Even to me.
Even to you, and I'm wondering.
It's not that you cannot speak.
To,
Parents are banned from coming to schools.
Yeah.
Can you
It's
imagine?
not a visiting day.
No.
I remember there was a time my parent showed up and announced in school. He was refused entry at the gate.
Yeah.
Like you are not allowed to see your own
Even
child.
the things you brought, you live with the gate man. The gate man will take it. You go home.
Yes.
You don't see us. Yeah.
So I remember in high school, you see some of
You
these
cannot
things.
also bring good food for your child.
Yeah.
Good food.
Yes, they have their meals in school. I remember.
Uganda.
I remember.
No, my niece tells me, Jagero, my niece tells me
Okay.
that you have to give me pocket money because sometimes it is evening. There are many. The school has got 4,000 plus.
4,000 in a high school.
They are eating in 3 turns. Like if it is dinner, this group goes, then another group. But she tells me sometimes this other teacher.
Your sound is now good, brother.
This other teacher has kept you in class. By the time you're going for the meals, you realize the meals are over.
I've been told
so you have to use your pocket money.
The meals are over before the students are.
Yes, because there are many.
So the meals are over.
Yes.
Before you eat.
Yes, there are those who miss the meal because the population is big.
I remember one day.
If you miss food, you're not eating.
And you know the reason why they have to go for those extra classes. Every time they open, the opening of school happens, every time they have to carry 2,000 for, what do they call it?
Remedials.
Remedials. It is a must.
What is
And
a remedial?
It is not banked.
Classes.
Extra classes.
Extra beyond those.
Beyond the learning hours.
Yes.
Why do they learn beyond the learning hours?
When I explain to you about the ridiculous times that people study, it is always caused by that thing that we call remedials.
Yes.
Whereby, aside from the normal class time that people are supposed to be going, they introduce extra hours for people to be studying.
Yes.
So you find out that a teacher will be coming in at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
up until 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Then another teacher will be coming in from around 9 a.m. after your preps
Yes.
up until 12 in the midnight.
So, Jagero, this school has got more than 4,000 students. It's a national school. Every term when they open, you have to carry 2,000. It is collected at the gate. It is not banked. That is more than 8 million Kenya shillings.
Yes.
Every time the school is being opened. This is what they use in those extra. They pay themselves, the teachers pay themselves that money in the so-called remedial extra classes.
So I remember.
So they value that extra class more than
the other one.
Why can't they just take the money and not teach?
No, they have to show that you know these overzealous teachers.
You know, every time my daughter tells me that she doesn't feel like going to school, I tell her, you sleep. And the mother is so mad at me, and I'm like, what is so serious about school? I mean, just school. She will go another day.
So I remember the few times I got into bad books with my teachers. I remember going to high school, and I'm looking at the fee structure, and some two terminologies look very familiar. I see remedial, 6,500. Then I see tuition, 4,000. I'm like, what is this? So as a Form 1, I go with the fee structure to the accounts clerk.
Okay.
To explain to me what's the difference between remedial
and tuition.
So I got into bad books. The accounts clerk got very angry with me.
Okay.
So he escalated the matter to the deputy principal, who was head of disciplinary. So it became an indisciplined case. An indisciplined case where I am seeking to even incite students. I'm only seeking clarification. Why do we have this 10,000?
Yeah.
Why do we have it here? And so another thing that schools we must look at.
Yagero,
even the meals.
Some people are giving feedback. You see, someone says Maseno is worst.
Okay.
4,000 students and depleted structures. But somebody else says Oreru was a military barracks.
Okay.
Yes.
That's just a short comment.
Yes.
So you can imagine.
So once these kids have had enough, they do something.
You see, issue of movement by running. There is a teacher.
Why are you having people running?
Yes. Why are we running? We are 2,000 people in one area.
Running.
So there is a teacher that akisimama hapo nje, mkimwona you just want to run. Akikuona unatembea.
What is really wrong with those teachers, by the way? Nani wale wakosea?
Those
teachers,
in
fact, me, I don't have love for most of those teachers in high school.
They have trauma issues. So there is one incident that led to our school head teacher to ban movement by running.
Yeah.
So many people had been punished for movement by running, for not running.
Okay. If you see the teacher, you run.
You have to be seen running. If you are going from point A to point B by walking, that's bad.
That's bad.
Yes. So there is this guy who left the dining room. He was going to the physics lab. And now he was running very fast.
Okay.
Somebody. Okay, that mic was mine. I have seen. I meant Zima mic a 7th day.
Very good.
That comment section.
I give up.
They're welcoming you.
Sitawacha SDA.
Hawa wangwana ni wanoma. So we had a biology teacher who was heavily expectant.
Okay.
And this student is running very fast.
Okay.
From the dining to the lab. And now they meet in the corridor.
Yeah.
So the student had to sacrifice himself.
Okay.
To hit the walls because he had two options. You either hit the teacher who is heavily pregnant
or go run into the wall.
From the wall. So he fractured his hand. And that's how they banned movement by running.
Yeah.
So they came up with an excuse and saying, it's not running fast, you just jog.
Yeah.
So that you don't waste time. So that you be active.
But high school was crazy. There is a gentleman that whenever, I don't know whether he never had money or whatever, but he couldn't explain himself. So I think his socks was really torn. And he was not able to, he did not have socks. So what did he do? He decided to, there was the part that gets into your nini. The part that gets to the feet was not there.
Yes.
So he decided to have just the ankle of the socks.
Yes.
The one that starts from here all the way. And then he tucked it into the shoe.
Yes.
He tucked it into the shoe. So that he can appear that he had. But then, so we were lining next to the laboratory for chem lab. Okay? And then this lady, who was on duty, the lady teacher was on duty. So she would lift your leg
to
check
the socks.
If you had the sock.
School uniform.
But when she went to grab, she grabbed the sock.
So she pulled it up.
So anyway, people of the internet, let us go to the Ebola issue. Because I think that is
very important.
That is interesting. And thank you, Meshach, for reading some of the comments out aloud. People of the internet will be reading some of those comments and will be taking calls, hoping that Obunga's calls are going to be working today. All right, so they keep your question a political. We have this issue of Ebola.
Yes.
That the fact that the U.S. government has somehow agreed or in the process of agreement with the Kenyan government that they have a sort of center in Kenya where they're going to do quarantine, all right, of the people that are gonna be there. There is something very interesting. Aden Duale was asked by the Nation on specific issues that he was not able to answer. But I want to first of all start by asking Mr. Joachim, what are your real feelings before we go into the nitty-gritties? What is your real feeling about what is the Ebola issue?
I was listening to Marco Rubio.
Okay.
The U.S.
Secretary
of State is an equivalent to a foreign affairs minister here.
Okay.
He was saying that their foreign policy, according to their foreign policy, the priority number one is to defend an American person.
Okay.
So there is no way they were going to allow Ebola into America. So American citizens who are infected by Ebola in Congo will have to find a place where they will be quarantined, be monitored, until they are deemed free of the disease.
Yeah.
And I do not know how they settled on Kenya to provide those CDC centers.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make sense of it.
Okay.
Because such kind of arrangements, and I do not think Trump can just instruct William Ruto to allow building of quarantine centers in Kenya without an offer on the table. So from this thing, the first question we need to ask ourselves, what is the American government giving the Kenyan government for us to allow these quarantine centers here in Kenya? Because in my own thinking, the first thing they needed to do is that if you are not trying to spread the disease further, you try and contain it in this area where it has infected people. So carrying people from Congo, bringing them to Kenya, I think if you are not careful, you will be spreading the disease. Now, our government, have they considered all unforeseen circumstances? What will happen if one case happens to have been infected outside the quarantine centers? Ebola is one of the most infectious diseases we have. Our health system, can we be sure that in case of an outbreak, we can contain it.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to imagine, what is it that President Ruto might have been told to agree putting his own people at risk of such magnitude? And again, why Laikipia? What are their reasons? I have seen PS Oluga, Ouma Oluga, and I am very angry at the people from Nyanza who are in government. Nearly all of them. I'm very angry at them. You know why?
Why?
I grew up knowing that the most competent people in Kenya are Luos.
We are.
No, I'm not saying you are not.
We didn't stop.
I'm not saying you are not.
What you knew was right. Yeah? What you want to know now is the wrong one.
I have said I am angry because when I see the name of a Luo in office, I expect competence and results that are excellent.
Okay.
So when I see a PS for health called Ouma Oluga, I do not expect any theatricals. So I saw him today making a video that we are not going to abdicate our global security obligations.
Okay, meaning
so I
what?
am wondering that we are obliged to make sure that globally we make sure that health security is well taken care of. As if we are the prefects of the same in the whole continent. So my thinking, what is the biggest problem President Ruto is facing? That when you offer a solution to that problem, he can do anything you want.
Okay.
That's a question I'll answer. I can see.
Yeah, I want to go to the gentleman, Mr. Adrian. What do you think about it in generally, before we got into the nitty-gritties of this issue?
You know, in fact, Kenyans really need to take this issue of Ebola very seriously, because look at the statement that came from America. They said that it was too dangerous for American citizens to fly from the DR Congo straight to Washington because they had already been exposed to the risk of Ebola.
Okay.
So we are asking the question, if it is too dangerous for American citizens,
to
it
go
is
back
too
to their
dangerous
country.
for a country that is 17 times the size of Kenyans, that has a very advanced healthcare system, more than Kenya, has so much space and so much land, more than Kenya. So you're telling me that it is not dangerous for us as Kenyans? They should try and convince us. Tell us, what is the logic behind it?
No, why should we even be convinced?
Mesha.
No, if they have to bring it here, let them put it at State House. Yes.
You know,
let them voluntarily be at State House.
Wait.
You know, you will not be different from that boy that was dancing at night. No, but let's hear from Mesha, surely.
Yeah, for me, this is it. One thing, I may not be in support of this happening.
You may or you are not.
I'm going to the US. They might tell me not to go. So allow me.
This is very selfish.
Allow me.
Okay.
That's on a light note.
You're not going to the US.
That's on a light note.
That's on a light note.
So, first, I think what Marco Rubio said and Adrian has stated meant a different thing.
Okay.
It is too dangerous for the Americans who have been exposed because the distance between Congo and US, and Ebola does not stay long with you because it is lethal. So that long flight, those people might die. That's what I think he meant. So flying from Congo to Washington is long hours compared to flying from Congo to Kenya.
Okay.
So that means if you want to fly someone who has already been exposed, they might die in the long flight before they get to a place where they can be rescued.
No, absolutely not. In fact, Jagero, and I keep telling you international law, that the American people and the American government does not care about any other country except Americans.
I'm coming.
When they say that they do not want any American exposed to Ebola not to go to Washington, it is not because these people will be dying within 12 hours. Absolutely no. We also know the timelines in which Ebola leads to death. It is not 12 hours.
How long is it?
It is more than 12 hours. The only problem is that
let me finish
and land my point.
Land.
The reason why for them they would not want these people exposed to fly long hours is because their priority number one is American life, not Kenyan life. So that requires us, Americans don't owe us protection. William Ruto, Kenya Kwanza government, the government of the Republic of Kenya owe us.
So there is American first and then there is Kenya Kwanza.
Then there are others. It is America and others. Then we should adopt that the same way, Kenyans and others.
Yes.
But I know what brings us to this particular thing. This is my thinking, and it could be backed by a few evidence here and there. William Ruto, the Kenya Kwanza government, we know Musalia signed some health agreements some times back. You remember? Which some states in the African region have still refused to sign. And it is causing a lot of friction between those countries and America. I think that is one. Number two, we are allies. We got into this space called non-NATO member. We are the major allies of America in this region. You know that? So when they are looking
Is Congo one of them, by the way? Congo is not?
No, Congo is not.
And what
in this region, it is Kenya. Actually, Africa, it is now Kenya number one ally of the United States.
And Israel.
And Israel. So for that reason, I am trying to get into their thinking. For that reason, when one single life of an America seems to be in danger, they have to look for their ally close there, where they can find a way to rescue that life.
Even if American life,
even if it is putting the rest of that country at risk,
danger.
Because their main priority is their person. Citizen. Just like Joachim said first, a government exists to protect the life of its citizen and protect the wealth of that nation. So we are supposed to turn back to our government. Do we have a foreign policy like that? That when there is one life of a Kenyan in danger in Dubai, we can do anything, including putting the entire Dubai at risk to save that life.
Let's talk a little bit about people of the internet. Let's talk about a little bit of what is Ebola, by the way, because that is important. Ebola is a viral disease and it is severe, right? Often fatal viral hemorrhagic fever caused by viruses in the family of fever something, But what is important is how it spreads. Ebola is infectious but not airborne, Transmission between humans require direct contact with the blood, vomit, diarrhea, sweat, saliva, semen, breast milk, or other bodily fluids of a symptomatic patient or with contaminated surfaces. And needles or the corpse of someone who died from Ebola. This is why outbreaks concentrate in healthcare settings without proper PPE, in households where relatives nurse the sick, and at traditional funerals where mourners wash and touch body. A person is not infectious during the incubation period, only once symptoms appear. This is the single most important that word is very difficult. Something.
Epidemiology.
Yes. So we have got symptoms. The incubation is between 2 to 21 days, typically 4 to 10 days. Onset is an abrupt fever, severe fatigue, headache, muscle pain, sore throat. By day 3 to 7, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and rash appear. In severe cases, internal and external bleeding, multi-organ failure, shock, and death follow within 6 to 16 days of symptom onset. This is a very dangerous disease. And the case fatality is WHO's headline figure is around 50%, with a range of 25 to 90% across past outbreaks. So that is the issue that we are having. The one that is currently there is called Bundibugyo. It is the virus that is currently there. But going forward, I think it is also important, people of the internet and my panelists, to look at some things, because I think we have to look at what is contested in the issue. because whether Kenya has actually approved it. That is seriously contested. And that is as of May 28th, 2026. So Reuters, citing 2 U.S. officials, Mr. Meshach, reports the Kenyan government has not yet given final approval and is bargaining for, number one, for the facility being open to all nationalities, not just U.S. citizens. And B, the Kenyan government is also asking for increased U.S. assistance as a quid pro quo. All right? Okay, so now we go to
increased U.S. assistance in which way? Like to be assisted in
it probably alludes to what you are talking about.
Yes.
Okay, but let's go to health.
Because we have to be told what assistance are we looking for.
Okay.
That is the language.
Yes. Health CS Aden Duale issued a 2-page statement on the 27th May 2026, confirming only ongoing discussions with the U.S. government and other partners regarding international collaboration on strengthening preparedness and response mechanisms for Ebola virus disease, and insisting, this is the government of Kenya insisting, any arrangements regarding international health cooperation will be guided by Kenya's national laws, public health regulations, biosafety and biosecurity standards. Okay? But Duale was asked by the nation 10 direct questions to answer. But Duale refused to answer 10 specific written questions from the Daily Nation about location, number one. Where is it going to be? Number two, what is the legal basis about this agreement? Number three, when the Americans would arrive? Number four, whether some are already in the country? And most importantly, what risk Kenyans face? Now, the Washington Post separately reports the U.S. military has been instructed to stand up the unit within a week. Okay, so when Duale is telling us that they are in conversation but within a week, which was 3 days ago, it's very interesting. All right, meaning the timetable is moving faster than the Kenyan public deliberation. All right, okay. So there is something that is also, before I open it up again to the panelists, what is false or misleading in public version of the claim? Because we did a research. Many people are saying that it's not a Kenyan quarantine of American patients. The facility, staffing, equipment, command, and clinical protocols are all American. All right? Kenya is providing territory and presumably logistical access. Number two, Kenya has not formally signed an MOU or treaty in public view, which I don't think is neither here nor there.
Yes.
Because we will not know anyway. There is no published text. But again, Kenya government does not publish most of the things that are happening. Okay? So number three is that Kenya is not receiving Ebola positive patients en masse. This is a small targeted evacuation hub for US nationals working in Congo. Missionaries, doctors, government scientists, not the world's Ebola patients.
No.
Okay, so those are you are saying no. Let's go to you. What is your no?
My issue is Ebola broke out. Ebola broke out.
No.
Yes. Ebola broke out in Congo.
Okay.
Why don't they just set up a quarantine in Congo?
By the way, that is the question that I wanted to ask.
No, that is
Because
the question
if the
someone
end
is
goal-
asking me here.
Okay.
And they are calling me seventh day. my name is Meshach.
They will not
No, we don't care. We don't care about Meshach.
I think I have explained
seventh day.
that. I think I have explained that.
Okay.
And it is a practice all over the world.
Okay.
How have you explained?
If there is a situation, whether it is war or any other thing like that in a certain country,
Okay.
you might realize that your country has to find the neighboring country or country around that region.
By the way,
sometimes even evacuation.
As you go on,
Yes.
Jagero, as we talk about this, let Aden tell us the public health laws that Duale meant that are in line with this. So, TikTok lawyer, after Meshach.
Yes. So most
And
of
I
the
also
time,
want to answer on his justification.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not justifying because I started by saying I'm not supporting this.
Okay.
Yeah, but I am trying to understand why they are doing this.
Okay.
Although even if I understand to the last point, I still don't support.
Okay.
Those are two different things. You might want to understand why they are doing this, even though you don't support.
Yes.
So if there is war in Ukraine,
okay,
and the flights or planes can't land in Ukraine because of the hostility, and Kenya government wants to evacuate its people, its citizens from Ukraine, they will look for a country around there where they can land KQ and find a way of getting the citizens of Kenya in Ukraine to that country so that they can board and come back. This is basically compared to what America is trying to do.
Okay.
They are looking for a place to set up their
No. You see, this
let him finish.
No, I can see. He wants us to understand Americans.
Okay.
No. Our job should not be to understand them. Even as we do not have a problem, I know I am going to be going to America a lot.
Very soon.
Yes. But I have no problem with them.
Okay.
My main concern is Kenyans. We are in a country where mothers in maternity wards are sharing beds. Which means, health-wise, we are not doing very well.
Okay. Yes.
And this is Ebola.
Okay.
So when I have seen somewhere that they are bringing this facility to Laikipia in Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing a quarantine of a very highly
by the way, there is
in a densely populated
there is the question of where,
yes,
which is also answered by several places I looked at.
Yes.
And the place is the Laikipia Air Base,
yes,
in central Kenya, 8 kilometers west of Nanyuki, co-located with Batuk. Flight trackers have noted unusual activity into the base.
Flight trackers.
Kenyan Wall Street. There is already a lot of... Mr. Meshach, your people are already here.
Yes, let me support that. Let me support that. These people are already here. If you listened to what P.S. Oluga didn't say, in that video he made, there are things he did not say.
Body language.
Not just the body language. The in-between statements. That we are not going to abdicate on our global health security obligations. Which means he's telling us that we are actually going to make sure that this thing happens. And remember, Kenya is like it has agreed. Because if I have a proposal to you, ndugu yangu, and you don't want it, you do not give me your counter proposal. That, okay, for me to do this, give me this. That's already we are in agreement. So this aid that we are seeking from America, that's where I want us to look.
Okay.
Because that's the reason why President Ruto is going to accept. And I want you to look at your president.
Has accepted.
What is his biggest problem now? It is not re-election. His biggest problem now is that he needs 800 billion before 30th of June.
800 billion?
Yes.
The other time you said 300 billion.
No, 300 is a shortfall.
What is a shortfall?
From our revenue, which we are in estimation, the most we can do is 500.
Okay.
So the reason why fuel went up and on diesel is we are looking for 300 billion. So, which in most likely, we are not going to hit that target. If American government offers to pay this loan or write it off, President Ruto will accept. He will put the lives of the Kenyan people in danger to pay...
In exchange for 500 billion?
Yes. Because it is going to cause fiscal pressure on the expenditure of government, as highlighted by John Mbadi, that there will be budget cuts on some sectors.
Okay.
So they are offering President Ruto a breathing space in terms of the
But this is highly speculative, right?
You see, I have said things on this show.
Yeah, don't take calls on
that were regarded as
I will kick you out.
I have said things on this show that have been regarded as speculative.
Yes.
But not less than a week later, you see a headline highlighting the same. We were here with Odhiambo. where we were talking about Josan.
Yeah.
Those 3 people who had been arrested. And I said, that nothing will happen. People were like, oh, President Ruto has decided he's going to fight corruption. I was like, okay, let's give it time. You saw what happened. They have not been taken anywhere, not even in court. Because even the exhibit to be used in court went missing. So I'm telling you, you will see in the newspapers later or sooner that the US government gave William Ruto money to either write off or pay debt.
Meshach, do you agree? I think I want to go to the TikTok lawyer to tell us about the law, but do you agree with this the speculative nature of why you think Ruto, the Kenya government is trying to do this? Because I also want to read actually why Kenya specifically, because I also have had a look at that. But do you agree? Because I think that Joachim is highly speculative.
There is something. There is someone here called Gitonga.
Okay.
He's saying that there is something called debt for food that is due in June.
Debt for food.
Debt for food. I don't know DFC. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, he can explain. He can ask him to write a little bit more.
Gitonga, can you explain this debt for food?
Yes.
But I'm telling you, the debts we need to pay before 30th of June are so huge, and they are going to put strain on our financial situation of the country. So anybody who will come with a solution to
Vash, can you find out how much 500 billion is in dollars? So
yes,
we see. But I want to give time to Meshach.
For me,
yeah,
I think immediately William Ruto got into power.
Yeah.
The Kenya Kwanza government.
Okay.
They started this dalliance with America a
Okay.
lot. So I wouldn't pin this particular thing on this debt.
Okay.
I think I have seen their relationship more. You remember when Meg Whitman was here? They went all over, everywhere with the president, here and there. So I think it is just a trap that we got into until he was invited and he became, the Kenya became the non-member NATO ally. And then the other day, Musalia, as the Prime Cabinet Secretary, was among the first leaders to sign that health global document, which some countries up to now, I think South Africa have not signed it, and a few others. So I think their relationship has come a long way, according to
but why?
Before you ask him, Meshach, in all this relationship, what is our gain? What are we looking for?
Now that
who needs the other?
No, Joachim, let me tell you. Now that's a different question.
Okay.
Every time America does anything, it is for them.
No, I'm looking
if you happen to benefit.
Let's stop. Let's stop looking at America. It's none of our business. Let us look at us.
Let's look at the interest.
Yes, our own interest. What is our interest?
I'm telling you something here.
Yes.
We need to learn from America.
I do not object.
That
I have everything to learn from the US.
Meshach, what they are asking you is that what is Kenya looking for?
What are we looking
from
for?
Americans?
Kenya
Why would Musalia sign a deal that South Africa has not signed?
Joachim, first of all, people need to understand that we have a very greedy president that is ready to do anything for money.
Greedy for Kenyans or greedy for himself?
Greedy for himself. That
you
is
can't
ready
be greedy
to enter.
for someone else. Greed is always personal.
Joachim,
are you going to talk to us about the law?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, please talk to us about the law. Yeah.
We have a very greedy president who's willing to get into any money deal that is presented before his table.
Okay.
Just like Joachim has said, what is the interest that is being presented at this table for our ministry to directly accept and quickly accept this Ebola quarantine? It is money.
Money.
When the HITI proposal was made, before it was even approved,
our
the government
people
of Kenya had already received $1 billion as part of reimbursement for the soldiers who were there. That is the same thing that will happen for this Ebola quarantine deal. We are quite sure that our president is going to be pocketing money from this Ebola deal in expense of the lives of Kenyans. And for me, I would love to think that there is a clear, deliberate intention to make sure that Kenya is affected by Ebola. There is a direct intention that in a few weeks, we'll have the first case of Ebola in Kenya.
Okay.
And in a few months, Kenya will be having an Ebola crisis. That is very certain.
Are you saying that the government is looking forward to that?
The government is looking forward to that, and I think that there is a deliberate plan by the US to make sure that Ebola spreads not just in DR, but across East Africa.
Why?
I was looking at the...
Let him finish.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
I was looking at the
I
was looking at the comments that were made by some, some pharmaceutical companies in the US about COVID-19, and they were saying that they had a chance to save the world with COVID-19, and therefore they are looking forward for other chances so that they can save the world. So this could be another chance.
Yeah, and in fact, you need to understand, the problem.
Are you going to tell us about the law?
Whenever Jagero, you speak about certain things, Jagero thinks of it just like a speculation. You need to understand how the world works and how intentional and how...
You don't want me to say that Joachim is being speculative?
He is not being speculative, and how conspiratical these people are. In fact, why is it that every time there is a crisis in the DR Congo, or whenever they want to stand up against themselves, against the exploitation, why is it that there is always an Ebola crisis? In fact, Ebola is something that has always been engineered to control the people of DR Congo.
Oh, is that so?
It has always been intentional to create a crisis in certain regions of DR Congo, like the northern part, in order to continue with the exploitation of DR Congo. That is very true. So we are looking again at another situation whereby these people are trying to get this Ebola into other parts of the country, which is Kenya. And we're going to talk about this sooner or later.
So once they introduce Ebola into Kenya, what happens?
First of all, what will happen?
Sending us their pharmaceuticals?
That is number one. They're going to want to provide a solution for the crisis of Ebola. But also they will be doing an experimentation. One thing that happened with COVID-19 was that there was very heavy experimentation on how humans reacted to that virus.
Okay.
So it's the same thing that is going to happen with Ebola in Kenya. They're going to introduce it. There's going to be an outbreak. There's going to be experimentation on how we are reacting to this virus, and a few other things.
So this guy called Gitonga.
Yes. He has written again.
Yeah, who we helped.
We asked to write to explain.
Yeah, he said, instead of Kenya defaulting on expensive loans due soon, the US DFC provides financial guarantee. This allows Kenya to borrow at much cheaper interest rates to pay off its immediate commercial debt. That could be
you know that Gitonga guy. Why are you speaking the same language with him?
You see, it's not the same language.
You asked him to send a text message to us.
When we have...
Did you ask him to send a text message to us?
Even if I did, when we have a problem that is public, there is a very high chance of you sounding the same way like someone you've never met.
Okay.
And when I talk about debt, I have an audience here who understand that topic. And I am telling you, the biggest problem to President Ruto today, it is not how we are going to be secure as a country. It is how he pays the debt. So any breathing space he's going to get, he's going to take it.
Okay.
And this offers that breathing space. So it is now, therefore, on us as citizens to demand what is good for us, because even these debts they are paying did not benefit us. They are illegal anyway. So why should we even care whether he pays or not?
Yeah, let's go on. But I want to answer to further the conversation by asking the question why Kenya specifically 6 structural reasons have converged. Because of the geography and the aviation, Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is East Africa's busiest aviation hub. WHO's emergency supply lift from the DRC outbreak, which was 4.7 tons, went through JKIA. on the 18th May of 2026. From Laikipia, a US C-17 can reach Kinshasa in roughly 4 hours from Andrews. It is 14 hours. The administration stated rationale is avoiding a 12-hour plus medevac time. Number 2, existing US military footprint. So we have Manda Bay, Kamsimba in Lamu is already a cooperative security location used by the 475th Expeditionary Air Base Squadron and 75th Expeditionary Airlift Squadron from AFRICOM. Okay, so the US broke ground on a $70 million Manda Bay runway expansion on the 29th January 2026. So that confirms Kenya's role as Washington's principal East African logistics base after withdrawal from Niger and Chad in 2024. And we know the reason why they withdrew from there, because China and Niger, that is how you call it, Niger and Chad do not want anything Western, saying pack your bags and leave. And then number 3, there is the major non-NATO ally status. Biden, you remember, designated Kenya in June 2024, the first sub-Saharan African country. The Trump administration has not rescinded this, even after Senate Foreign Relations Chairman Jim Risch. You remember Jim Risch and Gachagua publicly called for a reassessing it. Okay, so that is still there. Then number 4, there is another interesting thing. This is about the money now. There is a $2.5 billion health cooperation framework, which on the 4th December 2025, Prime CS Mudavadi and Secretary of State Rubio signed a 5-year US-Kenya health framework.
Yeah.
Okay?
Is it in dollars?
Yeah, that is $2.5 billion. All right, number 5,
In
the
Kenyan
reason why
money, that's how much?
is also the existing health infrastructure. So we have KNH, we have KEMRI, we have the Kenya National Public Health. All right, and there is also number 6, which is Kenya's Ruto's political alignment with Trump. Despite philosophical difference on multilateralism and climate, Ruto has clinically calibrated to Trump's transactionalism. Transactionalism. The 5th December 2025 photo signing of the DRC Rwanda peace deal in Washington with Ruto present was the visible deliverable. The health framework was the contact. The Ebola facility is the call collect on that contract. So those are the few issues. There is the politics, what side actually gains. Okay? And it is clear that Ruto, a campaign promise is kept. At the 27th May 2026 cabinet meeting, Secretary of State Rubio said, we cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. So we are, the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease Control, HHS, others are working very hard to contain this crisis in the countries where it is currently, in the countries. Kenya is now apparently included, but we have no Ebola cases where it is currently located, particularly.
We have never had even one Ebola case.
Yes.
And also,
the 2014 Trump, the businessman, tweet domes, keep them out of the US. Became the 2026 Trump, the president policy with Kenya. Now, Ruto's gains, what are Ruto's gains? Leverage in negotiating expanded US health and defense assistance, a strategic positioning of Kenya as the only African government Washington trusts with American lives, bragging rights as the first to sign the new bilateral model, and crucially, US-funded containment infrastructure that will outlast the outbreak. So those are the issues that are happening. I want to come back to you. These people are talking about very serious issues, that there is some big agenda by the big pharma in the United States to infiltrate Africa. Do you agree?
There is always an agenda.
Okay.
I mean, Africa, I have said this before in some other platforms.
Okay.
You look at the setup and the geopolitics as it is, and you realize there is Africa-Russia summit, Africa-France, Africa-India, Africa-Japan. Only Africa does not have agenda for itself. Every other big economy have agenda with Africa. So that's not even a question to ponder on. Everybody else out there, when they sit in the G8, Africa is an agenda. When they sit in the G20, Africa is an agenda, whether Africa is represented there or not. So there's something someone wants from Africa. Remember, Africa hosts a bigger percentage compared to other continents of all the minerals in the world. Africa hosts a bigger percentage. If you look at the population of Africa, Africa is actually going to be at par in few years with China, India, in terms of population. Africa is the youngest continent as we speak. So it means Africa is the future. But then the question is about the white supremacy. Do we want, because population has also helped China a lot to get to where they are. So does the white supremacists want to sit here and look into the future and see Africa ruling the world? No. So there has to be something someone has to do for now. But because Africa claims, I call it claim because, to be honest, we are still not at the level we would want to be when we call ourselves sovereign and independent. There's a way we are still being ruled here or there, whether in software or otherwise. So somebody must sit somewhere to always have an agenda with Africa. Today, if you look at how things are happening, even as we are talking about all this, Africans can suffer in other foreign countries, but still doesn't stop other Africans from going. Today we have on the news how this and this was treated in the Middle East, but does that stop those who are looking for passport at Nyayo House want to go to the Middle East? They are going every day. So I think we are supposed to take it by ourselves. Nobody will come to actually organize Africa and make Africa a better place for everyone else. So finally, I actually think there is also something America is looking at.
Okay.
The World Cup is happening between 11th to 11th June. Just a few days from now to June. The whole world will be in America, Mexico, and Canada. It would look like the world got sick in America. I mean, that is embarrassing for them.
Why do you care so much about
I don't care. I am just trying to get into their thinking.
If the people in the World Cup get the Ebola virus, we care about the Kenyans.
No, I am not advocating that. I started by saying I do not support this position. I am just trying to get into their thoughts to see, because they would rather it is happening in Africa. Even during COVID, everybody thought Africa is going to suffer. Thank God we didn't suffer the way Europeans suffered and even Americans themselves. So I am trying to imagine the thinking of Americans, imagining that even if it is in Kenya, in Africa, where people get sick, Ebola gets contagious, it's okay according to them. But let people not be catching this kind of diseases in America, because America is heaven according to them. So they would rather do whatever it is that nobody steps in their land, in their space, who has been exposed. So they can use other reasonings to convince the Kenyan government to set this thing here. But even if those reasons are not reason enough, for them, we are not their priority. It is them and their land that is their priority.
TikTok law, are you going to tell us about the law?
Yeah, I was to do that, but they kept interrupting me.
It is your party, your party history that was interrupting you, not us.
Yeah, definitely. Duale and the ministry have said that, there is an obligation for, their public health, for them to be having certain measures taken. But, when it comes to our Public Health Act, our Public Health Act only focuses on the protection of the health of our citizens. It does not focus on the protection of the health of other countries. But if you look at, certain legislation like the World Health, International Health Regulations, in parts like Article 26, it places an obligation that, every citizens must, or every country must collaborate when it comes to certain global crises or global health crises like COVID-19, like Ebola here right now. But when it comes to collaborating, our own Public Health Act places an obligation that if we are going to be handling certain diseases that are outside of our country, we must have the capacity to ensure that we are protecting public health at the same time. So if you look at our legislation alone, and you look at the measures that we are having in our country, we do not have even the capacity or the expertise to be handling Ebola in our country. So we are putting our own people at risk to follow an international legislation that forces us to collaborate with other countries. But at the same time, it does not justify heavily on the reason why Kenyans should be the one who are taking up the mandate of quarantine for another country, when Kenya is not even close to the country that is highly affected by this disease. So that is the overlap. What is the overlap between our own legislation that seeks to protect us and international law that forces us to collaborate with people when it comes to global health crisis? That is the problem that we are having right now when it comes to law and our legislation on this particular matter.
Yeah, okay. Somebody wants to say something. You want to say something?
I wanna say something.
Okay.
I'm imagining if Ebola breaks out and it persists, can you go and queue to vote when there is an Ebola breakout?
Oh my goodness.
No,
let's get there. Let him land.
Oh my goodness, Joachim. Which bastard? What? Where is your nini?
You see,
they are over.
Some of the things that you think are far-fetched are usually the goal in such things. So I'm just thinking, and again,
that's a huge conspiracy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they both have serious conspiracy theories.
You people live in the which world?
Come on, Joachim.
So you think this is a far-fetched imagination? No one can even think about it.
Are you saying that the government is hoping?
No.
For the problem with people like Degero, when you start saying something, they want to go and verify with the same websites that these people control. They ask you, on what, is that really right? Let me go confirm with CNN. They control those media institutions. So what makes you think that they will just openly
I am just
talk
asking.
about it as a bio?
And when we have a World Cup, the way you have mentioned, options are two for Americans. It's either they cancel the World Cup or they look for a place where they will be shipping people who are infected.
Okay.
And they have found a place where they will be shipping. It will be here.
So mtu akiwa mgonjwa World Cup, Kenya.
No, we have agreed. We have agreed. So why would we reject if we have a call that we have 70 people of American descent who need emergency landing in Laikipia?
Joachim, this is what I meant. For Americans, it is America first. World Cup is beginning on 11th. The issue here is the money they want to collect across the world on visa is huge. So they do not want you to imagine that cases of Ebola have been mentioned in America. That will stop you from wanting to go.
Yes.
And they will lose the money you are supposed to pay for the visa. You're getting now my point.
Yes.
Yeah. So by all means, the world must know that America is the safest place.
You are just creating scenarios.
Yes.
It's only in Kenya. So, us as Kenyans. So what are we getting?
Nothing.
No. Don't say we are getting nothing. Our government is getting something. They might not say.
Joachim is just about to say our government is broke.
No, if they are not broke, then why are you not seeing money out here?
Yes. Nyamori says there is a lot of money in people's hands. Nyamori.
You see, what do you expect Nyamori to say? So when you say there is money in people's hands, so what are you saying? We are talking about the money the government is able to collect and carry out its operations. And I'm telling you, if it's not about debt, there must be something the government is getting.
Okay, let's go forward with this conversation because we are just about to, so that we allow people to call in if the calls. Omunga, please.
But you didn't let Joachim say something.
No.
Because if we allow this,
do you think I'm gagging him?
No.
Yes, you are.
How much?
No, I'm not gagging him.
No.
You are.
How much?
Joachim just wanted to
God,
say
God.
Ruto wants to bring Ebola
Exactly.
so that
I want
people
that.
don't go for election.
Come on.
That's one of the
That is
things.
what he wanted to
No,
say.
Exactly.
That
And
is
I'm
what he
having.
said.
And the people are having.
Roger. That's not the
Joachim,
only thing.
Joachim,
Okay.
Yes.
No, come to think of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a president who is very unpopular in 2027.
Yes.
There is a
Measured by
virus.
what?
No.
Unpopular.
Stop.
No, we don't just throw in things.
No.
Unpopular.
Don't get worked up. I mean,
So
you are saying
maybe
that
he has a source.
Jagero, are you
that
going
is-
to let me talk? You are the host.
you
Yes.
talk. Kwani kunini?
Maybe he has a way
Jagero.
of measuring popularity.
Yeah.
According to us,
I am not the one who is not
he
allowing
is
it, but
not.
it is him.
It's him.
As
No,
we
he's-
speak,
this guy.
there is a lady in the hospital
Okay.
who said 2 term, and she was banned by soup from beans. Alishout 2 term, akachomwa na maharagwe.
This is an apologist.
Who?
This Meshach.
No,
But I was saying,
Here, how much do we
Mesha.
make from tourism? How much?
I don't know.
Let's deal with this first.
Several billion.
Goja.
I want that point to land.
Goja.
Yeah.
We have a president who's unpopular.
Yes.
Okay.
Now think of this. Do you think he would be afraid to bring in people who are risked with Ebola to the country?
Yes.
If there's going to be a global crisis or a country's crisis on Ebola that is going to prevent election in 2027,
I think that you.
do you think he would say no to that?
I think you guys are pushing
he
the
would
envelope.
not say no to that.
I think.
So for me, I think
You see, Jagero, you have not appreciated what these people are able to do to maintain their power.
Yes.
You see, you don't think like Jagero. Imagine how they think, these people that are looking for power.
Hoping that they will not going to die. They are not going to die from Ebola themselves.
Yes, that's never their imagination. It is about how do we maintain the power. Now, how much do we make from tourism all over the world? What does it show for us when it's reported internationally that we have Ebola cases in Kenya?
What happens?
It means that tourism and hospitality sector
Is dead.
is dead. These hotels that we are seeing, international flights into Kenya will go down. Which means that even the small revenue we are collecting, we are not getting.
How about the news? Do you think the news is enough to spook the rest of the world?
What else do you need?
You just need to know that they are in like.
Yes, when I had during 2020,
Yeah.
I got so mad with Uhuru Kenyatta.
When?
When I heard that a Chinese plane had landed at JKIA with 219 Chinese nationals. And remember, it had been reported that COVID had broken out in Wuhan. And we were hearing on the news that Germans were dying like flies. So I was imagining us dying like Germans. So when I heard that there is a plane at JKIA with 219 passengers from China,
Yeah.
I was very mad with Uhuru Kenyatta. Why do you want to kill Kenyans? It is always important for us to be wary that there are things that can jeopardize our safety and well-being, so that other peoples can benefit. We have a government that thinks about its own people as the last option.
Can I ask Meshach a question?
Before you ask Meshach,
Okay.
use Musalia.
Before you ask the apologist.
Musalia.
Yeah, TikTok
Musalia.
lawyer.
When we had an issue in Middle East, what did he do? He said that those people stuck in Middle East should pay for their own return back home. The government does not have any single coin to spend on any Kenyan national stranded either in Lebanon or anywhere in the world. Jagero, when you leave this country and you go anywhere part of the world, I want you to remember this thing, that this government will not do anything to make sure that you are back. It is your family that will have to sell property to try and evacuate you from wherever you are. So these issues that we are saying they are bringing Ebola here, a government that is ready to do anything to jeopardize and risk the life of its own people.
So I want to ask Meshach a question.
Yes.
Meshach, the Kenya government, we are a non-NATO ally to the USA, correct? And we are one of the most leading, allies generally to the US. Kenyans are living in Mexico. Mexico is very close to, let's say, Tampa, Florida, the deserts of Tampa, Florida, or Los Angeles. Do you think the Kenyan government can actually go to the US and tell them that, look, we want to construct a quarantine in Tampa, Florida for the Kenyans in Mexico? How do you think that goes down?
They would laugh.
If Kenya is an ally to the US.
It is as we speak.
It is, not if.
No.
Yeah.
In this circumstance.
Yeah.
Let's say Ebola has broken out
in Mexico.
In Mexico.
Nothing stops Kenya from asking such.
We know, but favor. Can they?
Whether they can or not depends on what their
have
laws
they
say.
Ever?
What their laws say.
No, have they ever?
Stop heckling.
No.
I'm not heckling. Have our government ever?
Meshach is trying to ask a question. I'm going to, and he's very.
He's being cagey.
He's very. He's extremely cagey.
I
am asking you this.
Yes.
What is your feeling about the government, the United States government's response to Kenyan government? If they were to put that ask on the table.
Me to get into the thinking of the US.
No,
why are you focusing on the
it is about
us. No, because if you ask me what is my take about how they would respond, that means I need to get into their thinking and respond the way they would respond.
Get into the thinking of the Kenyan government. Get into the thinking of Musalia as a prime cabinet secretary. Get into the thinking of Ruto as the president. He is being told, we have Ebola in Mexico. According to our data, we have 418 Kenyans in Mexico.
Yes.
There is need for immediate evacuation of Kenyans.
Yes.
Do you think Musalia will take initiative to get in touch with the American government to give us a place in the desert of Florida so that we can set up a quarantine and an evacuation center for Kenya?
Yes, they will.
Have they ever?
There has not been Ebola in Mexico.
No. When we say that the war has broken out.
Joachim.
Wait,
must it be a ball?
Adrian, we have to be honest.
No, must it be a ball?
You are asking the question from imagination. But I'm also answering from imagination, and you now want it to reality.
Let's come to reality
because
now.
Have they ever means it has ever
Let's come to reality.
Jagero.
Juzi kumekuwa na vita.
Yes.
Okay.
And our Kenyans were in the Middle East, Lebanon.
Yes.
And our Kenyans were on TikTok saying, huku ni kubaya sana. Serikali tafadhali saidia.
Yeah.
What was the response of Musalia? Find your way home. No one is coming for you.
But Jagero, ask this
but
question.
Kindiki can use 8 million on one flight.
To where?
Whichever place he's going. He went to Tarakanidhi to build a mud house after hiring a chopper for 1 million in a day.
Jagero,
Why have jokes? Yes.
Where are they going to take that quarantine base? They're going to take it to Laikipia Air Base, which is a US military base.
Yes.
Ask him one question. Can Kenya today wake up and have a Kenyan military base in the US?
No, not even a kiosk.
We can't.
Have you seen the Kenyan embassies abroad?
Of no.
They look, there's a corner M-Pesa house. Yeah, that's how they look. A corner M-Pesa house.
So mtu akituambia yeye ni ambassador wa Kenya.
Which country?
No, in fact, wait. No. Let me say that I'm exaggerating. But have you looked at the Australian embassy in Kenya? Yes. The magnitude of it.
Yes.
Have you looked at the Israeli embassy?
Yes.
Have you looked at the American embassy?
Yes.
Have you seen the the Kenyan embassy in Madrid?
Or New York.
Or New York, or Los Angeles.
Definitely they are not at the same level. But Kenya is not the same economy.
No, it should be
Why should we have the same
It shouldn't be at the same level.
We can't be. It is honest.
But you see, now the reason, and what Joachim is prosecuting is worth listening to.
Yeah.
I lost my passport in Barcelona.
Yeah.
All right? And then I lost it at the airport.
Yeah.
And then I was arrested for not having an airport. Because now when I realized that I don't have a passport, they arrested me and they wanted to know, do you really have a visa now that you don't have a passport? Yeah. Okay? And then I told them, I actually have what? A visa. They told me, can you show us a picture? Interestingly, I'd sent the visa page to my sister who is in Norway. Okay? And then says, all right, that is now fine. So they bundled me into a car back to Barcelona. And then they tell me that I need to go to the police in Barcelona. So I reached Barcelona, okay? And then the first thing that the officer asked me, do you have money on you?
In Barcelona?
Yes. They're asking me, do you have money on you? I say, yes, I have my card. That did not go away.
Yes.
All right? So they tell me that, okay, do you want us to tell the embassy that you are lost? And I'm wondering, why are these questions leading to? Okay? So I tell them, so they tell me that you have to go and get a ticket to go to Madrid. And I'm like, why am I going to Madrid? That's where your embassy is. Okay? So they give you a certificate of urgency, meaning that you don't have a passport. So I drive all the way, 7-hour drive to Madrid. I reach there, okay? And I sleep, and then the following day at around 9, I go to the embassy, okay? But the most interesting thing is that, okay, it was a corner house. It was a very nice, it was a very nice office. You know, nothing to be, my office is bigger than it. All right? So I go there. But what caught me by surprise is that I was asked for money
by
the embassy to produce a passport photo. 70 euros. What? Yes. To produce, and then also pay for the paper where the certificate of travel, they call it a certificate of, if you don't have a passport, they give you a paper that you travel with. So the paper has the name of the airport where you are going to be laid over and so on and so forth. So I asked myself, okay, I find this little guy in the embassy and I asked him, what would have happened if I was moneyless in Barcelona? And he told me that story changes so fast. Because number one, you would have slept in the streets. Because we do not have money to put you up in any hotel. Number two, we will have to tell the police that we will give a specific date when we are coming to Barcelona to interview you, whether you are Kenyan. You understand? But in the meantime, you will give us the number of your family to call and tell them that your man is sleeping in the streets in Barcelona. And therefore, you need to send money for him to sleep somewhere and eat.
That one I can corroborate. I visited Ndegwa Muhoro when he was the ambassador, Kenyan ambassador in Malaysia.
Okay.
The office is not corner house because
big.
Yeah, it is nice, it is big.
Yeah.
But the issue of money in our foreign missions is a problem.
Yeah.
Ndegwa Muhoro has got 14 people who are camping.
Staff.
Who are camping, not staff, camping at the embassy. These people who have been brought from Kenya by cartels, that they are going to be given jobs, then they pay some money. Getting to Malaysia at the airport, the person, another Kenyan, not a Malaysian or any other, just another Kenyan. Because now I know Jagiru and he's got a job for me in Malaysia. And then you tell us that you come with 1,000 USD and you collect that one at the airport. Then because I'm new in Malaysia, I don't know anyone, even that airport itself, you disappear and you leave us there. So we are here stranded and we don't know where to go. And you have disappeared. You have collected 1,000 USD from each one of us.
Okay.
There is one that you had paid while you were still in Kenya. So when police get to arrest these people, they have their passport, yes. But now they can only be taken to the embassy. So it is the ambassador who now feeds them. So I am in Malaysia.
Is the one that feeds them in the compound?
They have to live within the gates of the embassy, because if you step out, you are arrested.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you are now there illegally. The other guy had collected your passport and their 1,000 USD. Now, if in the embassy, you are in Kenya. But if you step outside the gate and you are found without documentation, you are arrested.
Okay.
So Ndegwa Muhoro tells me, now this is what I have to go through, looking for money to actually feed these people.
Yeah.
And they have their suitcases, because they were found at the airport with their suitcases. They had never gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the issue of our embassies having no money, that one I can agree. As to whether some are corner house, that depends on each and every country, because the other one I visited was South Korea. It wasn't bad. It was good, not corner house.
Yes, because I was also told by that guy, by the Luo guy, that as a Nyola.
Yes.
Okay. How does that translate?
Yes.
As my kinsman, yes. I would take you to my house.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I can do for you. Yes. Or if I had the money to spare, then I would put you in an Airbnb. That's all I can do. Yeah. But the Kenyan government cannot do it, because they don't have the money to do it.
So if we are on our own within our own country, now imagine being outside these borders.
It's terrible.
Then it gets very.
But let's move quickly to something. This interview today is going for a very long time, because there is something that I also wanted to, because there is the issue of sovereignty, consent, and transparency. The accountability questions. No parliamentary debate has happened. The National Assembly has not been briefed. As a matter of fact, the Health Committee chair, chaired by Dr. James Nyikal from SEME, had earlier asked the ministry for a comprehensive national response plan on Ebola generally. But the specific Laikipia facility has not been tabled. Article 2 of the Constitution, which, by the way, TikTok lawyer refused to tell us, and Article 19 read with the Treaty Making and Ratification Act, normally require ratification of international agreements with significant resource implications. There is no public evidence this process has been followed for the Ebola facility. Now, there is no published agreement. Unlike the December 2025 Health Cooperation Framework, whose full text the Ministry of Health released after public pressure, under Article 35, no MOU or letter of arrangement on Ebola facility has been published. There is also the issue of civil society pushback. Former Justice David Maraga, no partnership should compromise our sovereignty or place the Kenyan public under undue risk. Law Society of Kenya President Charles Kanjama, in his 28th May statement, said, "We equally want to see the Kenyan government take robust measures to avoid cases of Ebola." So those are the issues. The dual 10 question silence. The Daily Nation asked 10 specific questions. 10 questions, and there were no answers to any of them. So then the other question, that is Kenyan preparedness for communicable diseases, which is also very important. All right. So in Kenya, one purpose-built viral hemorrhagic fever isolation unit in the entire country is at Kenyatta Hospital only. All right. And that is very interesting. And then there are 3 labs that can test for Ebola. Only 3 labs. National Public Health Reference Laboratory, KEMRI Nairobi, and KEMRI Kisumu. Every other lab in Kenya, including the country's best equipped private diagnostics, does not meet the biosafety standard, per Dr. Ahmed Kalebi. Now, so the turnaround time is also about 8 hours in Kenya, all right? And then the personnel, 118 rapid response personnel on standby, that is needed, surveillance, and all those other things. So, Mr. Meshach, before we take a few calls, I'm hoping people of the internet, you can start calling us now. If you can call us through the normal line, we'd really appreciate it because it is usually very clear. WhatsApp inakuanga na nyef mingi sana. So if you can try, for people who are calling from outside, they can call through the normal line. But for us who are calling from Kenya, please try and call through the normal line. It would be very nice for us. I want to ask you, Meshach, going forward, what do you think as a country we should do?
I think we should put Kenya first in every negotiation. I use this phrase every other time. They say, if you get into any deal, you must first find out who the fool in the deal is. If you can't see the fool in the deal, then it means you are the fool in that deal. So if Kenyan government is getting into any deal, whether it is this for Ebola or any other, the president and his economic advisors and his ministers must try as much as possible to find out who the fool in that deal is. They must find out what do the other people gain in this deal first. Because what they gain will help you understand what you want. Because if I find out that this is what Joachim wants in this deal, then I will know the amount of request I need to make for this deal to happen. But if I don't know what they want, then you will ask nothing because you think they want nothing. Then they get away with it.
But the other question...
What if they have accepted to be the fools in the deal?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, that is the thing that he's assuming. He's assuming that the leaders who are getting into these contracts do not actually know how detrimental it is.
They know.
They understand and they know.
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine, Jagero. How are you guys?
I am very well. We can't hear properly, Obunga. I don't know what's going on. Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, very good. Go ahead. What is your question?
Mine is not a question. There's something you guys don't quite get that I want to clarify.
Please do clarify.
When you're asking why... Oh, sorry. My name is Alison Otieno from Juja.
Okay.
When you're asking what the government is getting out of this deal...
Okay.
What you don't understand is we are not getting anything because we had already been given. Because whatever you have read, that the agreement that Kenya or Uhuru Kenyatta signed in Washington, that is last year December, this agreement had not Uhuru, sorry, Ruto. This agreement included provisions like health surveillance and outbreak reporting. Information sharing, emergency preparedness and response cooperation, and coordination in emerging infectious diseases. So we might argue that while this is not happening in Kenya, the Ebola thing, by the time Ruto was entering into this deal, whatever money or whatever it is, he had been given. So right now, US wants it has come to cash in. That is what is going on. We are not getting anything. We have already been given.
When you say that it is time to cash in, do you mean that part of the $2.5 billion US is now flowing into the country?
No, by the time Ruto was agreeing to share our private data, by the time Ruto was agreeing that Kenya will always declare an outbreak and allow for emergency preparedness, by the time he was doing that last year, December, he had already gotten, if it is money or whatever favor. That is why when Trump was denying our neighbors visas, Kenya, we were not affected and we thought we were smart. It is because of this agreement we entered with these people. We are the menu on the table.
All right, thank you. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is John.
Okay.
I'm calling you from Eastland. Sorry?
From Eastland? Where is Eastland?
Eastland. I'm calling you from...
Which part of Eastland?
I'm calling you from Umoja.
Umoja is okay. Great. Go ahead. Do you have a question or you want to give an opinion?
I would like to give an opinion, sir.
Okay.
I will take time. Now, what I can say is, if you have a certain disease, a disease has an outbreak.
All right.
You go to the source of that disease. Where did it come from?
Okay.
You open a lab there.
Okay.
So that can contain that disease there.
Okay.
I don't see the need for the government to allow America to help them and have a health hub here to contain the disease, because it won't work.
You're saying it would work or it would not work?
It won't work. It won't work. It's a waste of. It's just a waste of time.
It won't work.
Yeah.
And the resources that we are receiving, we will never see as Kenyans. That one I can guarantee you. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Oh, we lost that gentleman. So I don't know why is Mr. Meshach. Why is he saying that it's not going to work?
I think it is just the common feeling of most Kenyans right now.
But why do you think, Mr. Meshach, that a lot of Kenyans have a very low level of trust to the government of the day? What is the reason?
It's from the historical evidence that Kenyans have tried. You can't blame. Is there a caller?
Yeah, there is a caller.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm watching you guys. I can see the girl looking up and side.
Okay, we want to park you just for half a minute as I wait for Meshach to make his point, and then we'll get back to you. Is that okay?
Okay, so do I disconnect?
No, don't disconnect. Just hold.
Okay, sawa. Okay, fine.
Go ahead, Mr.
No, what I'm saying is Kenyans cannot be blamed.
Okay.
Because when they go to the ballot every 5 years, they put in their vote to members of parliament, senators, governors, and president because of trust. None of them goes unopposed. Okay. And if there is one, there are few. So once they vote for you and you emerge the winner, it is their show of trust in you.
So do you
but they have always been disappointed over and over.
So do you think this government has lost trust? I believe that is question.
It is not just government that have lost trust. Many people in politics have lost trust, including members of parliament, from both sides.
They've lost trust in this regime.
Can we listen to the caller? Can we listen to the call and then we can? I want to come back to you, Mr. Adrian. Hello, how are you? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, my name is Hannah.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Nairobi. So my thoughts are this: when I had this news going out, I was very, very upset. And the thing that I wanted to find out is from people like Joachim, from yourself, is there something we can do, like as a population, maybe a petition? I know KMCDU did something; they wrote a letter. But I wanted to find out if there's something that we can do as a country, because I think this is something that's really terrible. We have children, people are going to school. There's someone who talked about tourism and all these other things. These are really going to be affected. And so far, we have not had any cases in Kenya, so we don't want to introduce that. So I don't know if there's anything that you can do. You have a big platform, Joaquin is there, where we can now maybe petition or go to the court or something of the sort, yeah.
Okay, there is something that you're saying, but you can also try and answer that question, because I think it is today that your party leader, Mr. Babu Owino, was in court defending that young man that
who threatened the president.
Who threatened the president. Yeah. But for whatever we can do, the problem, I'll try to be as loud as possible.
Yeah.
The problem with this government is that sometimes you might think that there is something that you'll do that will salvage the situation. Like, let's talk about our only option to stop this Ebola deal is a petition through court.
Okay.
And the court to halt the process. But how many times have we petitioned through court to halt a lot of illegal things that we have felt the government is going to do? We tried that with the Haiti deal, and we've tried that with a couple of deals, but it has never worked. Because also the institution that is supposed to be protecting people, the judiciary institution, is also part of this cabal of the government.
Okay.
So the only thing that Kenyans can do to prevent this Ebola deal from going on is to agitate for it. Let those centers not be set up in Kenya. In fact, what happened in DRC, when the DRC people realized that there was a playful deal when it came to how they introduced Ebola in their country, they decided to ban most of the camps that were treating Ebola in northern DRC. And that is the same thing that Kenyans have to do. If you want such kind of illegal deals not to transpire in Kenya, you have to stand up for it. Because the courts are never going to help.
Why are the courts not going to help us?
They are part of the very system.
Yeah, they're part of that system. I don't know why, Jagiro, you should even ask about that. But it is because, look at the pattern. When we talk about this issue of Ebola, there are definitely legal issues that we contend. Our Public Health Safety, our Public Health Act. These are legal matters that are quite pristine. Why is it that the court has consistently ignored most of them? That we file an application at the High Court, they give us orders. Within a few weeks, the government appeals the decision to the Court of Appeal. By the time it lands in the Court of Appeal strike down those orders that are given by the High Court. That is the problem that we are having in our judiciary system.
So the government is corrupting the courts?
Absolutely.
You see, if you are going to solve this problem using the conventional means, where you have to seek action from the same people you do not trust, then you are not going to end up with any desirable outcome. It's about people exerting pressure on government and say, we do not want this deal. We do not want to understand why we should have it. We don't want to know our global obligations in the health sector of the world. We want to understand our own safety, that we are not going to accept. And we know the people who are pushing it. Those ones become our target of outrage. It's the only thing you can salvage the situation.
Okay.
And you write a letter. That letter will stay in the dustbin.
Mr. Meshach, how do we...
For me, the surest way is if Parliament tomorrow, or whatever day, sits and discuss this extensively and decide that as representatives of the people...
Which Parliament?
This Parliament.
This one that voted for the finance bill.
And they are going to vote for the same.
And they are going to vote for this one again.
Not all of them voted for the finance bill.
How?
I at least I know Azimio members of Parliament largely didn't vote for the finance bill 2024. The problem is when it is time for glory, we do not give any. We bundle all of them. But when they were fighting, we knew the members of Parliament from Azimio and largely ODM did not vote the 2024 finance bill. But nobody wants to talk about that. We want to bundle Parliament in one thing and say Parliament
are you
voted.
saying the members of ODM might not vote for this bill?
No.
Are they going to vote for this finance bill?
Yes, they are going to vote for this.
And are they going to stop government from making from the invasion?
No, this one they are going to vote for.
So
that
what
one
changed?
they didn't vote for.
What changed? If they were good people then, what changed? Or why did they not vote for the finance bill?
Because that finance bill was hurting Kenyans.
This one is coming to help Kenyans.
Yes.
When there is haircuts and the government has to assume that 60% of your profit is dividends that should be declared, then that is not a hurting.
I think we need to discuss that in another.
Because he's saying
if you want us to
people.
discuss finance bill, then should tell us discuss finance bill.
It is not a crime to have a snippet of a discussion on important matters. So he's saying, Duyang, if you are delegating this issue to Parliament, you have already lost before you begin.
Absolutely.
Because majority of them, you saw. Let me finish. You saw that sickly member of Parliament.
Which sickly member of Parliament?
From Hamisi. It's called Gimos. Whose job in Parliament is just to doze off and wait for adjournment. is now telling us he knows how he will help President Ruto to rig elections. This former member of Parliament, who is now deputy governor of Kakamega, a man you can buy with one bottle of Viceroy and 100,000 for the fuel of his car, is now telling us they will rig election for the president. And this is the same Parliament you want to go with the issues pertinent to the people of Kenya.
No, Simi, I mean,
Well,
we
nah.
have to accept that parliament is here. We cannot assume
We
that we are
impeached
operating
this parliament
in
in
a country
June
where
2024.
Why
we
does
impeached it?
No.
They are illegitimate.
No.
They are a house that should not be existing.
Then why are you Sifunas? Why are you Babu?
No,
if you are claiming there is no
Sifuna
parliament?
is a very consistent man.
So if Sifuna is
Let
a very
me tell you why he is consistent.
then where is he operating from? Parliament.
He stood between a gun and the people, defended them, asking the police why they are shooting. That is consistency. He's doing it today.
Then there is parliament.
Which parliament?
So where is he operating
We
from?
are talking about Sifuna, not parliament. Not some imbeciles in that parliament who have abdicated
mind your
duty.
language. Mind your
They
language.
are. They should not be referred to as honorable.
We are talking about.
They are very obsessed with being referred to as honorable.
Jagero,
Yeah?
we are talking about Kidero Jasuba. Let's cool off the tension.
Bwana, hapana, bwana. We are not going to relegate.
Kidero Jasuba is also not
Kidero
for today.
Jasuba.
In fact, I want to ask you about Kidero Jasuba.
Yes.
What do you think about what he did?
Kidero Jasuba is my member of Bunge la Mwananchi.
Okay.
I remain a leader of Bunge la Mwananchi. And I have gained my popularity on the floor of Bunge by talking about the issues of the country. I am against the statements made by Kidero.
Okay.
I'm not against them.
Goja.
So you will take
My
your time.
wish is that we defeat William Ruto at the ballot in his good health. I want us to defeat him. And I want him to live long enough to see how well a country can be managed. So that it haunts him that he had 5 years of a chance to lead the country, but he squandered it. What I am against, again, is the hypocrisy in treatment of the Kenyan people. There is this young man called Arap Zeronei who posted on Facebook a bunch of arrows warning Kenyans that if President Ruto loses, 2007 will be an anniversary, 2027 will be an anniversary of 2007. I went and checked the profile of Arap Zeronei. He was 6 years in 2007. So this is a young man who does not know what he's saying. And because that statement favors the system, because he's threatening the people who could be having an alternative thinking of putting in a new president, he has not been reprimanded. We have seen people make very outrageous statements.
There was one you were showing me today in the car.
Yes.
About
my friend, I don't know. He's saying it's not true. My friend MC Adektatu.
Yes.
He's saying somebody
hacked his account
and posted it. Ameandika vibaya sana against the Kikuyu community. That's not the country we want to have. You see, when you kill a murderer, the number of murderers in the world remain the same. Because now the one you have killed, you immediately replace him.
Okay.
We therefore have to be intentional, not to adopt the bad manners of the people we are against. Do you know why the black community in the US is very violent? It's because they faced violence for decades. They now adopted that violence as their form of
Operation.
Yes, as an adaptive way of living. We must not become like the people we are against. That's why I tell Kidero Jasuba, don't give these people a chance to harm you. Because 1 minute, they can send you to Sayuni. And we will remain here with your photo saying it is bad to kill a person. Let us hit this government where it hurts, where we defeat them. They have to come and sit in the ceremony of our swearing in. It is very humiliating to them, Bwana. I want William Ruto smiling and giving out the sword. I want that picture to circulate on social media.
Giving it to who?
To Jimmy Wanjigi. Who else? And you all know that none of us, of the people in opposition,
I loved it. In finishing,
that none of us.
But this guy is not castigating that young man for claiming that he's going to.
He will have his time. I want to tell you that none of us in the opposition are articulate with the agenda more than party leader Jimmy Wanjigi. Because we are saying we are not worried about the outcome of the ballot. We do not want the outcome of the ballot to be the only change Kenyans get.
Okay.
That we are defeating William Ruto so that we do what? Because we must not come in and do what William is doing. We want Kenyans to enjoy government. We want Kenyans once again to be rated as the most optimistic people on the planet.
We have been rated at some point like that.
Yes, in 2002 when Kibaki came in, we were rated as the most optimistic people in the planet. Because 4 days after Kibaki swearing in, all children were in school. We are looking at a place where the government is effective in your life, regardless of your political affiliation.
Somebody is saying Safi na pesa. You see the way they have written it. This is what I was telling you. Look at how they have written it. This is
Safi na pesa.
That's how it has been.
That is a Safina party member.
Is he?
We are saying.
But you see now he knows how to write it. I was telling you that you are confusing people the way you write it.
He's writing it the way he's pronouncing it. That, as for us, that's a hashtag.
No.
We are saying.
You see, it's called Safina Pesa. Safina Pesa.
So why he pesa.
In finishing.
I am finishing. Why do we call it pesa?
Oh my God.
You see, these are serious things that are going to change the life of your children. So pay attention.
Okay.
Pesa means Party of Economic and Social Adjustment.
Party of Economic and
Social Adjustment.
Okay, that's the name of the. Okay.
That's why it's called Safina Pesa. Safina is a Party of Economic and Social Adjustment. We want to make sure that you and me enjoy government. It is safi, ukisikia ni education, safi na pesa.
Okay.
Ukisikia ni health, safi na pesa. Anyone who is coming to challenge our first agenda must bring their agenda and say, you have the first agenda, but we have something else here. Let it be a discussion of ideas.
Okay.
So that whichever idea wins, it becomes a win for the people of Kenya.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So when Ruto is giving out the sword, is he giving out to who? To Babu?
None other than Sifuna.
Sifuna?
Yes.
Okay. Preamble.
In fact, the good thing with Sifuna,
okay,
at least he might be cleaner
than Wanjigi.
He might be more genuine than Wanjigi.
So.
He might be less corrupt than Wanjigi.
Oh my God.
In finishing.
Wanjigi is not a competitor to Sifuna. Let us talk about William.
Joachim, but when we want
so I will cancel his appointment to Mombasa.
That is why I wanted to finish. But one thing that I've come to agree, and that is why I will also be part of the forum that discusses about debt together with Jimmy Wanjigi in Mombasa on Monday, is that Jimmy Wanjigi has one of the best agendas, has one of the best economic agendas.
Yeah. Why can't Sifuna adopt it? Why is Sifuna going to Gachagua though?
That is the problem. So that is why we cannot even just put our entire head with Linda Mwananchi. If people have great agendas for this country, like Jimmy Wanjigi, like David Maraga, we must always consider them as
Sifuna the sixth.
But Sifuna the sixth is also a viable option.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was saying, for me, I do not castigate the statements of Kidero Jasuba, Bunge la Mwananchi. Why would we be so quick to castigate someone who calls for the death of an individual who would not be afraid to call for the death of you as a Kenyan when you criticize him? Why would you not be afraid to do it? Do you think the person who's at the top there is afraid of ending your life as a citizen if you'd be detrimental to his win in 2027? He would not think twice. We have seen a number of people who have been killed here. and the one that has icked or has stayed with our mind is the one for 2024. So you are afraid of calling for the death of an individual who's not afraid of taking your own life at any particular point. So for me, with the statements of Kidero Jasuba, it might be a valid statement. What if in 2027, somebody decides to rig elections, like in 2007? Because I keep telling people, while you are preparing to remove Ruto at the ballot, he's preparing to rig.
That is a mistake. Actually, he should pray that he loses elections.
What happens if this individual rigs election in 2027? What other recourse do you have? Because he's also preparing to meet you at the Supreme Court.
In finishing.
So what other recourse do you have? You overthrow the government.
Great. When Ruto wins again, he doesn't need to pass the sword, Mr. Meshack.
No, he doesn't need to pass any sword.
So he'll just keep it?
He'll just keep it.
Is he keeping it?
He won't be sworn in.
Kila mtu anajipigia debe. Kwani wewe una debe?
He's not confident.
No.
Let him speak.
I know why he's not confident.
No, it's not.
No, I know.
This has nothing to do with confidence because
when you're selling rotten tomatoes,
but then we don't know.
You have no confidence of telling the customer.
Bwana, this when you two of you were speaking, you need to learn something.
No, he's not inspiring.
Manners is very good. And Meshack has been.
I was just keeping quiet.
Yes, he starts talking.
Listen,
Okay.
You always announce who we support. You know very well that he supports Wanjigi. You know very well that I support Linda Mwananchi and Sifuna. You've not told us who.
But I've asked him.
But I've just started speaking and all of you have jumped in. I belong to ODM.
Okay.
And ODM is in negotiations with UDA.
Which ODM?
There are no two ODMs. There are no
ODMs are many.
No, they are not two ODMs.
Let me give you a list of ODMs. We have Linda Ground, we have Linda Mwananchi, we have pro-zoning, we have anti-zoning. So which ODM are you in?
Wait.
No. You can't define ODM for him.
Joachim, unless what we are doing here is comedy.
Yeah.
But if it is not comedy, then we know both on this table there is register of political parties.
Yeah.
Did you find those names you are talking about with the register of political parties?
No.
So we have one ODM.
Yes.
That ODM is in negotiations with
Mwanataka
UDA.
power.
With UDA.
Their party leader
Come on, you have to have decorum.
But if your party leader wants to be senator,
you must have decorum. You must.
Alikuwa anasema anataka power. Kumbe power iko senate.
So when that negotiation ends, and the party declares that this is the candidate we have agreed on, whether it is Dr. Oburu, which is supported by UDA and ODM, whether it is William Ruto supported by ODM and UDA, we will know. So for now, it is a lie for me to start jumping and saying this. Because again, you have the TikTok lawyer telling you, telling Sidi that Sifuna may be less corrupt than Wanjigi. I mean, if poison is little, it doesn't kill.
I think ultimately you perish.
If poison is little, it is still poison. So I don't mind remaining where I am because going for a little poison so that I can die little or
you're a Ruto supporter.
No, I am ODM.
You're an Oburu supporter.
I am ODM.
ODM that is saying they want power.
So no,
just to time it, as we finish.
I am purely ODM.
As we finish.
When ODM have got structures, all the structures which Linda Mwananchi doesn't have, probably
these structures are
so they don't understand when I say we make decisions based on those structures. When it shall be made, we will announce. And when it shall be announced and I am back to this podcast, I will tell you who my candidate is.
Yes, thank you very much.
When I said
I can allow him to
When I said he's not confident, I was not mincing my words. when you are selling rotten tomatoes,
okay,
you surely do not gain enough confidence to talk to customers because you know they will find out your tomatoes are not good for human consumption. So my friend is afraid of declaring publicly who his candidate is because he knows that he is tantamount to rotten tomatoes. What we are saying
okay,
is that as we approach elections, we are not just going for an individual. We are going to vote for our own agenda as the people. So that even as whoever wins, it is for the best interest of the people. And I have said here, the reason why I'm very confident saying my candidate, unlike you, is because we know our then what after winning. The reason why you are not saying is your then what is more pain, more tax, more Ebola, more everything. So,
that's the beauty of democracy.
Yes.
That's the beauty.
Yeah, I think so. I completely agree.
The beauty of democracy cannot be more pain.
In your own things.
No.
And keep going.
The beauty of democracy is not more pain.
Yeah.
The beauty of democracy is people, freedom. No, you are not in pain.
I really and thoroughly enjoyed this podcast.
Yes.
And I think we can end it here and catch up
but
later.
He's not in pain.
Yeah?
He's not in pain. How can you be in pain
surely still
while
going
you are with the system? An oppressor does not feel the pain of the oppressed.
Why do you force pain in the
No, an oppressor never feels pain of the
Thank you very much, people of the internet. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much. We thoroughly enjoyed this podcast. And I want to thank the TikTok lawyer, Mr. Adrian Oloch. Thank you very much for showing up. We are very, very sorry and we profusely apologize for your problems with sound.
Exactly. We
hope it will be Mr. Meshach sandwiched by very aggressive young men. But you stayed on your line and I like the way you don't flinch. You know,
at least he's disciplined.
I think yeah. He's not like who? He's not like who?
Most of them are shouting two
And you're Kim.
I think you don't come from Homa Bay.
You don't?
Yeah, that's why you're not shouting.
You already know who
and I want to thank Joachim. Always articulate for the people love you and it's been amazing. I wish you well with Wanjigi. I wish you well with Babu and Zefuna. Yes. Thank you very much, people of the internet. I want to specifically thank Obunga, who was on the deck today. I want to thank Vash that did not have the opportunity to say something today. She's the one who is leading our research and everything in between. John Tess on the camera. Thank you very much. Obunga and Peter. And Achieng on logistics and also Atieno. So thank you very much. The star of the show is always the people of the internet.
Yes.
The people that gather around the fireplace to listen to us, converse with us, call us. And, thank you very much from the bottommost part of our hearts. We want to ask you that please consider subscribing, hit on that notification bell so that when it is Tuesday, you are always gathering around the fire. Thank you very much. And until another episode, bye for now.
HustlesAfrica.com, a guide to high-paying online jobs. At HustlesAfrica.com, you will discover the jobs people are doing from home, the platforms where opportunities are found, the skills that open doors, and the practical steps to begin earning. Go to HustlesAfrica.com today.